team where it's like, okay,
Also, what
we
about
need to like, yeah, it's like
who lost
we
his
gotta like
entire
look
season
over.
is the Boa.
Exactly, it's like, you know
mean,
what,
maybe
we gotta look over
Boa,
the mistakes we made, you know.
they've been they've been working hard to try to figure out their mistakes they have been doing because they've been kind of
True.
owning and rolling throughout this entire C League, but they want to be able to finish this series out strong and with a the grand championship victory. But I'm not sure. Maybe Oomfie University, coming from the lower side, I think that the wake up call was probably needed from them. I think because sometimes you don't want to like get caught out, especially during grand finals. You'd rather get caught out later on or beforehand, But I think Oomfie University, they still have a chance to win this. I think, but they've been looking pretty strong.
That is true. I think a couple highlight players to look at for I think a couple highlight players on Boa, especially in that winners finals game. I think it was definitely their DPS line of Setsuna and Andrew. I think Andrew on Sojourn has definitely has always looked pretty promising because I think like he's always been like a Sojourn player, right? And also because I feel like being able to put Andrew on the Sojourn when Sojourn is obviously a pretty solid character right now alongside the Freya and the Cassidy. So I think that is a pretty strong suit for Boa. And I also think in that winners finals game, Setsuna looked incredible on the Genji because it looked like it was just like there were just so many fights where it looks like Setsuna just almost sort of just I guess was EQOing maybe with just how many kills he was able to get in some of the fights, especially on Nepal, because I think just like going back to that winners finals, like you sort of remember Setsuna getting a lot of value off on that Genji. But we do have the first map pick here in University. We'll be picking Lijiang Tower. Obviously, Lijiang Tower is I would say. I mean, I really like Lijiang Tower. I think it's definitely one of the most popular control maps out there because I think, because I mean, to be honest, I don't even know why, but maybe it's just an all around good map, like
It's an all around good map. And if you do remember from the winners finals, Oomfie University, they did go this map as well, and they did win. So they're trying to go back to what they're comfortable on, which is Lijiang Tower. And try to run, probably the same composition they were running before. While Boa, they did run the Junker Queen instead with Hunter Tane in. So maybe Boa might try to go do that again. Maybe they've been working on it a little bit more. But Oomfie University did win this map last time in the winners finals. But it looks like Boa will be banning the Cass on this map as their first ban. So I mean, that's
interesting.
No.
I mean, I think Cass is all around a very solid ban because I think Cass has definitely been like one of the better hit scans in this meta. I do remember though in tier 1 you are seeing like the Sojourn being played a little bit more, but obviously Cassidy is no slouch, especially when you have like people that are just mechanically very good at Cassidy and can sort of like solo carry fights. And then we are seeing this ban from Oomfie University. They are going to be banning the Orisa. I would say also just like a very solid it's like a pretty like solid ban in general because I think again like for the past maybe like couple of months I think Orisa has always been a very strong stay in this meta just because she's just so good at staying alive with her fortify and her spin, and also if you just have like like a Baptiste or a Kiriko, it can definitely just provide so much sustain for your team with the Orisa just sort of there to soak up all the damage. So very good bans from both sides. So I do wonder like what sort of compositions, like I wonder like what comp Boa or Oomfie University, like I wonder like what they were sort of expecting from the other team to get these bans off, because I think the Cassidy ban, I'm pretty sure that I'm assuming that is mostly a target ban towards Ronin, because I think Ronin has looked really strong on the Cassidy for basically this entire season. I think that's been like one of his best characters, because I think his mechanics on Cassidy have been like very, it's like like you see him sort of getting a lot of just I guess popping off, so you obviously want to be getting rid of that. So
yeah,
but then I'm not so,
because you have to remember with this being first to 4 that you have that extra map to play these heroes. right? So like you ban cast for one map, but then instead of only having about 2 more maps, you can have 3 more maps of cast, you know? So I don't know if you have to be more like selective of who you want to ban on certain maps, because obviously you can like you're playing more maps, so you can play the character you don't want to play against a lot more. So, and for the Orisa ban, you know, it's just like a, you know, I think that I think that Oomfie University was like struggling a little bit when against the Orisa when they were playing it last time. So I think you know, getting her out, especially on Lijiang Tower, that you won't be able to run like the stable comp of like a Cass Orisa. So I think that we're definitely gonna see Ramatra here. We've been seeing so much Ram recently, especially with the blocking. I know how people feel about Ramatra and his ability to block. So you know, but
people really don't like that he can just soak up so much damage. You know what? Personally, I think it's a little bit busted too. I play Ramatra and then like blocking. It's like wow, they like I have 5 people shooting me and I'm like watching my health bar go down like maybe like 10 health every second. It's like wow, this is insane. So it's like yeah, of course you want to play the Ramatra. Just because like the block is pretty strong. I think the blocking is maybe they gotta nerf that like sometime. They can't have like Ramatra be blocking like 90% damage all the time. And looks like we are in the map now, and yep, we are seeing that Ramatra mirror with also the Kiri Lucio. I think we are going to see Setsuna on the Genji and then Xlera on the Tracer, so that could be like the slightly different look for both teams here. Yeah, we do see Setsuna on the Genji, but Xlera will be on the Tracer, so we are seeing that sort of flex DPS mirror matchup here. And actually, we are seeing Claybird playing for Oomfie University instead of Denji, so a little bit of a different lineup for Oomfie University starting off on this map. But it looks like Oomfie University able to take point control pretty early here, and looks like they're just comfortable with just holding it. And Ronan gonna be able to get the first pick onto Andrew, so now Oomfie University gonna be pushing up a little bit as they, because they're gonna have one person just contest the point, and they're just gonna look to chase down the rest of these BOA members. But it looks like they're just sort of opting to play super safe here, just make sure that they can get that point control first.
I mean, yeah, they're playing this really great. I mean, this Tracer, I feel like is gonna be maybe a little bit of a problem. I mean, obviously you're gonna have the Setsuna versus Xlera Tracer duel in the backline, but it looks like Fraxer will be falling early to Panini. And it looks like the rest of the team is probably going to be just falling as well behind them. I think that they're going to have to really look to go in these engages quickly with this Genji, because the Tracer, you have more of a presence in the backline than the Genji. Being able to not be able to escape sometimes as easier as a Genji can. But it looks like Setsuna will be swapping off of the Genji onto the Tracer here. We're going to be having a complete full mirror here onto this point.
Yeah, I think that is pretty interesting, but I think Oomfie University, they also played that fight really smart, just making sure to not over-aggress, but Xlera going to be falling very early to Setsuna, so now BOA do have the opportunity to push in super aggro, and Ronan sort of caught out there, not really near his team, so now BOA going to be rushing onto this objective here. It's just Panini trying to stall it out, and yeah, if I'm Oomfie University, you just want to maybe get as much percentage as possible, and then yeah, just sort of have the rest of your team just wait and regroup here, as yeah, just going to be Claybird blocking onto the point, giving Oomfie University a pretty good amount of percentage, but BOA will be able to get the flip eventually.
Yeah, already getting a 65% onto the board is not bad at all, especially for the first fight. BOA did not really need to use any ults there, so did Oomfie University, so we're going to be coming up on almost 10 ults here, but I think BOA needs to be able to go in here first. Yeah, gotta engage here fast before Oomfie University able to get any ults off.
Yeah, but but obviously both teams do have this Casino Rush available, so I think we're going to be seeing that coming out here from both sides, and that's what's exactly going to happen. But Andrew going to be the first one to fall to Xlera's Pulse Bomb, but Setsuna going to be evening it out with a kill onto the Tracer as well. And now the Sound Barrier is committed from both sides, but Oomfie University, they have so much more of that overhealth considering Panini used the Sound Barrier second, and now Oomfie University popping basically every ultimate here to try to win the fight, but Setsuna that's a crazy stick onto Ronan, and Fraxter going to be taking down Claybird with the Ramatra ult. So Oomfie University popping 5 ultimates and not being able to win the fight. That was absolutely devastating.
That was a 9 ultimate fight right there. The only person who did not use their ult there was Andrew, who did die very early. So maybe if Andrew didn't die so early, it might have been a 10 ult fight. But Andrew using Ivan's overclock, especially already at 60%. But finding kill Setsuna. I mean, Andrew needs to pop his overclock to be able to find something.
Yeah, he's going to be popping the overclock, looking for a target, but Oomfie University, they're just so smart at just playing behind natural cover, making sure that the Sojourn can't get an angle. But as they say that, Ronan gonna fall to Andrew, but Oomfie University actually gonna be able to get the flip here, and Andrew just so sort of overrun by this sort of off angle that you see Obama taking from the side of Oomfie University, and Oomfie University will be able to take the point right back into their favor.
I mean, Andrew was trying to use the overclock after Panini found the kill on Setsuna, and then Ronan found a kill onto Biscuit, but it was too late from that overclock. But now Xlara is going to have this pulse bomb, and if they can get a huge stick on the pulse bomb, that could be this round.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Xlara did use the pulse bomb, and unfortunately for Oomfie University, did not find too much here. But Fraxter just trying to run it to the point. I think Fraxter was trying to be the person to touch the point here, but we'll just fall really early. Setsuna going to be able to get a kill onto Panini though, but this is a very last-ditch effort attempt here from Boa. The Kitsune rush out, and Andrew manages to take down Obama. That's exactly what Boa needs. Of Andrew getting 2 as well. The Sojourn going absolutely crazy here for the side of Boa, and off the back of that Kitsune rush as well, committed by Biscuit a little bit early into the fight. Boa going to be able to flip the point off the back. That was some incredible Sojourn gameplay from Andrew that fight.
Yeah, Andrew finding 2 there. That's exactly what they needed to bring life back into this point. This point is coming down the final fight territory right here. We have Setsuna with the pulse bomb, probably trying to look for a huge stick here. If they can get the stick here, I mean, Claybird, they do have the ult to try to bring it back, but depending who Setsuna can stick, I mean, I feel like it could just be so much trouble for Oomfie.
Yeah, if I'm Boa though, you have that sound barrier compared to Panini, who's falling a little bit behind. Suzu going to be forced from Obama. That's a pretty big resource out. Pulse bomb gonna go wide, unfortunately, but still Setsuna applying a ton of pressure onto these members of Oomfie University, but he could get punished here if he's not careful. Manages to take down Ronan at 1 HP, and Claybird gonna die on the point as well. Boa having the ultimate advantage, able to push the rest of Oomfie University back. That's a crazy stick from Xlara to take down Biscuit, but I think Boa with that ultimate advantage will be able to win the first round.
Yeah, that was a very good play there from Boa. Setsuna was dueling the Sojourn there on the off angle, and I think the Kiri actually TP'd, try to help the Sojourn, which left the Ramatra to kind of like die there onto the point. Didn't really be able to help him too much, but it looks like that we'll be going to Control Center. It looks like I think we're probably going to be seeing some very similar comps here. Maybe Setsuna will maybe want to go Genji on this point. Who knows? I do think the Tracer was honestly looked really good for Setsuna for being known for this Genji, but I think that Oomfie University, that was super close for them. I think a few things obviously went a little bit wrong, but Oomfie University might be able to bring this point back. And it looks like Setsuna will be sticking to the Genji here onto this point.
Yeah, obviously I think that that sort of is like his comfort pick. He wants to be playing that Genji instead of the Tracer. He was forced to go onto the Tracer last round, but at that his Tracer still looked pretty solid there, all things considered. So I think maybe this is just like his comfort pick, and yes, Setsuna immediately starting off the round with a pick onto Panini, trying to avoid the damage to Xlara. That is insane, Setsuna. Oh my gosh. And yeah, Oomfie University just gonna have to back up with that one, as Bo gonna be able to get the first cap this time around.
Oomfie University, they quickly backed away after they saw the Panini get lost, but they're still getting the exhibit here. The nice pick down to Ronan. I have to wait for the respawns, but yeah, I mean, Boa, they looked like Setsuna is still looking really good on this Genji, finding these randomly like these more random picks that he was finding during the winners finals that really like helped him so much. Looks like they flipped.
But Oomfie University, actually flipping the point, and Setsuna just sort of on his lonesome will fall, but Andrew with a great headshot there onto Panini to take down the Lucio. So still fightable free side Andrew. That is insane. A kill onto Xlara with the railgun headshot. And yeah, I think Boa just gonna be able to flip the point right back into their favor. But however, if I'm Oomfie University, I'm not necessarily upset by that. You basically get free percentage for basically doing nothing.
I mean, yeah, that's not that bad. You kind of will take that. I mean, even though you did lose the fight, you stopped and get a little bit of percentage. That can help out with like possibly getting an extra fight in. But Oomfie University, they haven't used any ults yet, but so did both teams actually haven't used any ults yet. They're still like slowly building these ults here. It looks like we might be seeing a Kusune Rush meter here possibly on this point, but it looks like they're going to be trying to back cap here.
Yeah, pretty sure that is Xlara on the point right now. Kitsune Rush will be committed though by both sides, so it looks like it is going to be a brawl in this main, but Andrew going to get taken down. The Ramatra roll from Claybird finding massive value as Fragster overwhelmed as Claybird taking down another, as yeah, it's going to be Oomfie University able to finally be able to flip the point back into their favor, but a big ultimate advantage for Boa going into this next fight.
Yeah, that is a pretty big ult. Manche's going for Boa. Claybird there did a fantastic job with that Ramatra ult, finding the picks they needed to cap that point. And I think that rush was also great there. Really able to, especially combining those two ults, you know, that's it's pretty hard to live through that. But it looks like Boas are going to be trying to use their own ults here, slowly moving in, trying to make the spaces they need to maybe possibly use a blade or a overclock.
Yeah, or I mean, maybe even like maybe we could see like a beat mirror, I guess, from both sides. But we are going to be seeing the overclock from Andrew to take down Panini. But Sasuna going to fall a little bit early. But Andrew taking out both supports. Oh, Ronan, that is absurd. Tate is going to snipe out Andrew in the sky with his own overclock. Fragster going to be popping the Ramatra ult, though. This is such a back and forth fight. Ronan's so incredibly low, but able to stay alive just barely. But it looks like Oomfie University might have to give up point, but as I say that, Xlera doing a really good job of stalling this one out for now, but all 5 members of BOA are back, but Andrew Tate getting the kill onto Xlera once again, and yeah, it's going to be BOA finally able to flip the point again, so very back and forth round so far.
I mean, yeah, Andrew with the great overclock there, Ronan trying to bring it back there, but unfortunately BOA did have that Ramatra ult, which kind of forced Ronan to back up a little bit. It falls super low. Wasn't able to get as much value as they wanted, but still able to find the picks, a few picks here and there that they needed.
And we are seeing the Kitsune rush coming out here from both sides, so I think we are going to be seeing that brawl in main. But but it looks like BOA going to be the ones to get these first kills here. And Oomfie University, it's 93%. I don't even think they have anyone who can touch right now. It's just Claybird and Ronan alive, but walking Claybird too, besides just like try to run in. But yeah, everyone in Oomfie University will just fall, and BOA going to be able to take the first map 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, BOA looked pretty.
Huh? I don't know.
I don't
even know what I said.
I don't know what you said either. But BOA did take the first map here. I mean, there was a little bit of the opposite of what happened in Oomfie University last time they played Lijiang Tower. They took Lijiang, so it looks like BOA, you know, they've been decided to switch things up here for this map. It looked like it worked out pretty well for them. I think BOA on this Ramatra comp with the Sojourn has been looking so strong so far recently. I don't know if Oomfie University wants to take them to a map like that. I think that might be like their strong suit right there, but I do think Oomfie University, they had a lot of really good plays as well. I mean, that map was pretty close, so I mean,
that's true.
At what was it? Night Market did come down to a little bit of a hero play there from Andrew to keep that point alive for BOA. So I think could have went multiple ways, but we do have an awesome replay right here of
holy crap. Yeah, this is that real production coming in here. Yeah, we see that awesome punches from Claybird, and oh hey, it's Suna on Tracer.
And this was
on Genji. Oh holy crap. Yeah, holy let's go Andrew. Let's go Andrew. You are killing everyone, Andrew. And yeah, that was the pulse bomb from Ronan. That was so unfortunate too, because you actually see Ronan accidentally sliding out of the Suzu from Obama, because if that Suzu hit, that would have been just an incredible Suzu there, but unfortunately Ronan just maybe a little bit out of range for that one, so unfortunately it doesn't mean that you lose the yeah,
looks like we're clipping that first part right here as well from Sasuna was able to find 2 early on into control center, which I think that right there was kind of a turning point just for that kind of map, even though it didn't really start yet, but I think it was a really good start that they really needed for BOA to finish off that map. But I do think that, you know, Oomfie University, they still took that map pretty close, but I think that they still have it in them to bring it back. I know Oomfie University, they got some tricks up their sleeve that they're probably willing to pull out, especially during this grand finals, you know, but
that's true.
I think the next map will be an escort map, I should say. So
yeah. And if you look at the escort maps, it looks like BOA have looked really strong on basically anytime they play escort, they have gone undefeated. Oomfie University, though, they've only played it 3 times, so it's like, you know, not really a large sample size, I guess, for how many times they've played escort. But you know, BOA, they do look pretty strong here, and Oomfie University will be getting the map pick, and it looks like so it will be them choosing which map to go on, and yeah, they're going to be picking Watchpoint Gibraltar, which is actually a map they've never played before in the in BPL so far. So very interesting to take BOA to this map. As if you see, never mind, this is BOA's pick. We've been lied to. This is BOA's pick. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it will be
Okay.
Bo's.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay,
I
so it
think
will be Boa's map pick, and then
yeah, I
Oomfie
think
gets
Watch
first
Point
ban. Yes.
Gibraltar is a, obviously, 2-0 on this map. If you do remember from our winners finals from just like last weekend, how like good their dive looked on Nubani. So I think they're gonna try to bring that back onto Gibraltar with the Ana Brig. But I do think that Oomfie will probably try I could definitely see them trying to counter ban their Ana Brig dive because I felt like that looked really strong when on Nubani against Oomfie University. So
Mhm.
I could definitely anticipate something like that. And the Freya will be getting
The
banned here from
Freya
Oomfie University.
ban.
I do say Freya on uh Gibraltar is pretty good. You can like, especially that second
Mhm.
point where you can like spam through the doorways a lot, and you kind of have a lot
Yeah.
of open space to be able to shoot your bolas around for free. So, I it's a pretty good ban.
And I also do think Andrew has been looking pretty strong on the Freya. I think especially in the winners finals, we saw him sort of farm that Freya ult super quickly. And I think the thing with Freya ult is if you even if you like stick it onto a tank, you're still hindering them for like 3-4 seconds, which is so much time to where like they can't really move around the map. So I think that that in itself can open up the possibility to sort of kill whoever even gets hit with the Freya ultimate. So pretty smart ban there from Oomfie University because I think on this map we could see Andrew maybe play the Widowmaker or maybe just stick to the Sojourn for this one, or maybe even try going Hanzo. I have seen a little bit more Hanzo recently, so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we saw either team try to run that on this map. But Bo will be banning the Hazard, so looks like maybe Boa maybe Boa just obviously I think Hazard's also just a pretty solid ban on these dive maps. I think Hazard is a very strong character, just because I feel like the amount of potential you can have with your slashes if you have your DPS follow up, and also just your block just does so much damage as well. So another two very smart bans from both sides. So I think it'll be interesting to see sort of what compositions will be run here, because I think there's a chance we could just see like the full dive mirror, or maybe we could see like a sort of unconventional pick from one of these teams.
That is true, but I feel like I'm not sure if I really have seen Oomfie University play too much Hazard unless I'm just like completely forgetting. But obviously, I guess if you just don't want to play against the Hazard, you can just ban them outright. But I do like what Oomfie University is trying to do here with the Freya ban. I do think that they're gonna probably commit to some sort of like some sort of dive, because especially since Hunter Tane will be going in for Fragster, and Hunter Tane has been kind of like their Winston guy. If you remember from our last Nubani game that we played, Hunter Tane looked really great on that Winston there on that map. So I think that putting Hunter Tane in, I like that. But going to that Winston, which is definitely what they're going to be trying to run here for this map. And it looks like Sea Carrot will be going in for Tracy as well on the side of Boa. Boa having two substitutes here. I think Sea Carrot will be, I played the Brig the last time we saw them out on the field. So
True.
Yeah, we definitely will be seeing some sort of classic dive on Gibraltar during Boa's way. But Oomfie University, I'm unsure what they're going to run. Because last time I felt like they did a lot of swaps on Nubani. It was the last time we kind of saw them play dive, but
it looks like we could be seeing just like the monkey mirror coming out here. And honestly, yeah, again, we are going to be seeing Andrew on the Sojourn since the Freya is banned. Obviously, I think Sojourn is still very viable on these sort of, I guess, sniper maps where like maybe you would want to run like a Widowmaker or like a Freya. Like I think Sojourn is always going to be, it's like always a character. It's always like a fine character to play if maybe you don't have that much faith in your own Widowmaker gameplay compared to the other ones. Because I think Sojourn is just pretty strong into the Widowmaker duel as well, as long as you can just sort of sneak up on them. So looks like we're going to be seeing Oomfie University playing Mercy Ashe, or maybe this is just out of spawn, but
it's definitely very interesting in my opinion, because if you last time they played the Ashe onto Bonnie, it didn't really work out too well for them. I don't think Ashe right now is in a great spot, so I feel like they could be struggling here a little bit with this pick.
Yeah, but we are seeing Oomfie University, they are playing this Lucio Curie comp, so it looks like they want to sort of play, it looks like they definitely want to be going first and playing fast with the engages, especially compared to Boa running that Brig on a comp. So, but again, I'm not so sure where the Ashe sort of can get her value, as yeah, we're just seeing Ronan just getting poked out by the rest of Boa, and we'll just die first, so Oomfie University just sort of relegated to just stay on the payload or back up, and it looks like they're just opting to do that, but Panini gonna get picked off a little bit late as well, so unfortunately, Oomfie University not really making too much progress, and it's already been a minute.
Yeah, looks like Ronan, Ronan did get picked out there pretty early. I think they're gonna have to take some time here to make the space here. It looks like, obviously they're gonna be trying to play a little bit faster just because they have this Kiriko, Lucio backline to try to go in really fast, but I think the stable backline that they have from the Ana Brig is could be a little bit more, but as I say, they both fall.
Yeah, if the dive actually... Yeah, but it looks like Obama will be able to get the best of Hunter Tane, and Setsuna will eventually fall to Ronan. So it looks like Oomfie University able to sort of maybe... I feel like they were able to get... I think it was mostly Xlera and Kleber able to sort of get that initial successful dive off, and I think... And like I think that's sort of maybe... I think if you are Boa, like you definitely need to be aware of those dives, obviously, because if your Brig on it gets exposed, like they can die like pretty easily if if there's like a hard committal onto them. So, but we are going to be seeing this recontest fight here from Boa. There is the nano boost available here. Biscuit though going to be able to land a couple shots onto Xlera, and Andrew going to be able to get the finishing blow onto that Genji. Bob going to be committed, but everyone on Boa's zone going to be low. Panini with the drive-by able to get 2 kills.
God. Even if that nade that Biscuit landed on finding 2, it really was not enough for them, it seemed like. But yeah, it looks like Oomfie University will be capping this first point here with 4 minutes remaining. And I mean, this Oomfie University dive has been looking so good so far. I mean, they've been really executing these dives and getting these kills that they really need for this card progress.
Yeah, and I think Boa, I think their biggest issue right now is they're sort of holding on to these ultimates when I feel like, they need to be sort of going in first before... I feel like they need to sort of, go for an aggressive play every once in a while, because I feel like right now they're just sort of letting Oomfie University just sort of run over them, as, yeah, Kleber just on the high ground uncontested, going to be avoiding the sleep dart as well. Could get a late kill onto Biscuit, and yeah, looks like that's exactly what Kleber is going for, and then looks like, he will be successful in that approach as Biscuit will fall, and that's a very bad kill. That's a very bad death there for Boa. Primal Rage going to be committed as well from Kleber, so Oomfie University just looking to win, just looking to cap second point off the back of this, but the rally committed from C-Carrot, so finally some counter ultimates going to be committed here from the side of Boa, and Hunter Tane immediately going to be able to get the kill onto Xlera, punishing that Genji, and able to get the kill onto Panini as well, so finally we see Boa able to hold on as soon as they, finally commit those ultimate abilities.
Yeah, having both teams using the Primal Rage here and the rally keeping this second point dream alive, I think that they still have the ults. They have a really good shot of keeping this second point here. I think, maybe look for a nano engage going on to here. They want to be able to use these ults first. I think they should be going like really fast there.
Yeah, I do think if I'm the backline of Boa, though, I need to be really scared of this Kitsune Rush from Oomfie University, because I think a Kitsune Rush monkey can be so good at clearing out the backline if they're not careful. We are seeing that dive coming in. Ronan landing a huge dynamite, and Biscuit going to be the first one to fall again, so there's no Ana on the side of Boa. Both DPS ultimates going to be committed from the side of Boa, but no kill's going to be found. But as I say that, Andrew going to be able to get the kill onto Ronan, so it looks like Boa doing a pretty good job of actually equalizing this fight, and they might actually be able to win it out, but Panini popping that sound barrier though, and Obamda landing a ton of kunais onto Hunter Tane. There's a nano boost onto C-Carrot here on this protective. This is sort of a desperate attempt here for Boa, but I think it might just be enough, as Andrew and Biscuit going to be able to both get a kill each, and it almost looked like Oomfie University had that in the bag, but Boa able to, sort of able to, I guess, surround the remaining members of Oomfie University, and Oomfie University going to have to back up once again.
I used a few also for that. I mean, I really like that nano boost there onto C-Carrot. I think that really helped catch Oomfie University off guard, especially onto the break, who can kind of tank a little bit more than other supports and DPS. So, they're able to just stay alive there. Genji's going to be trying to go in early. Biscuit's falling so low.
Biscuit is so low. Yeah, it looks like the peel from Boa good to keep Biscuit alive, but Xlair just sort of alone on the point. I don't know if maybe they were expecting the team to be with them or not, but Andrew is going to be able to get the first pick there. As if I'm Oomfie University, I might want to call to back up here unless they can get a sort of dive off onto one of the members of Boa, and looks like Obama might be able to do that, but as I say that, Ronan going to get traded out, so it looks like Oomfie University are sort of taking this very long fight here, but I feel like the advantage is still in favor of Boa, especially with Andrew getting a pick onto Panini, and Claver pushing up super far. He needs to get that
Primal Rage is so close.
He is so incredibly low if he doesn't get the Primal Rage. That is devastating, and even the Kitsune Rush committed from Oomfie University. That is so bad for Oomfie University. They committed the Kitsune Rush too, and yeah, unfortunately,
only need a rally for that.
Yeah, unfortunately, it just looked like Oomfie University, like they looks like they were just really hoping for a sort of hero play to come out.
6 seconds left. I mean, they have this Primal Rage, they have this Nano, or this Primal Rage and Blade coming out. Looks like they're just using the Blade to touch the point. Nobody else is gonna go on to the help. But the Nano Brig onto the Blading Genji was just enough to finish him off.
Oh my gosh.
And it looks like the rest of Oomfie University will be falling one by one, but yeah, I mean, they had really good ults going into that, but I just don't think they had enough time to successfully set up the way they wanted to. But, you know, it was a great hold there from Boa.
Yeah, I also think that was just me. I also just think that was just sort of a very unsuccessful, a lot of unsuccessful fights there from the side of Oomfie University, because you know, Xler's doing their thing, you know. But oh, awesome! We're gonna be seeing the first round. But as we look at a couple of these highlights, I do want to point out that there was a fight where Oomfie University were permanently down one member, but instead of backing up, they were just still trying to fight Boa on that high ground. They were still just trying to fight them when Boa have the closer respawn as well. So I feel like if you are Oomfie University, like, you should probably just try to back up there instead of, you know,
they're trying to hold the space,
constantly trying to fight,
wait for the person to come back. But like, I feel like, you know, they would slowly die over time. Like this play right here was so unfortunate. Clayford was praying to get that primal there, but unfortunately was so close to it. Got stunned by the Brig. But you know, Boa was looking pretty rough for them on that about that first half. They really weren't using their ults. They're kind of holding on to them, but then once they started doing, like, using their ults, it looked like Boa was just they were looking so well. Oomfie University, they had a few slipped up there with a few ults, and I think just overall some sort of maybe miscommunication with wanting to go in or out. But
yeah, but we are seeing the Roadhog from the side of Boa. They just want to look for the hook. Come on, Hunter Tane, you got this. Oh, no hook gonna be found, as Hunter Tane will most likely gonna be swapping back to the Winston here, as Boa actually going to be opting to run this Lucio Kiriko comp themselves. And Ronan, you are playing a dangerous game there, just speaking out of Soja for that long, but luckily Andrew not going to be able to connect the shot, so looks like Ronan will be able to live another day. But it looks like we are going to be seeing a mirror here besides that Sojourn versus Ashe matchup here, so I think if Ronan can land these really big dynamites from Boa, it can be very big if, you know, you can sort of time the dynamites with your Winston engage. So I think that's sort of what you need to be looking for if you are Oomfie University. But looks like Boa are just opting to all fight on the card, so no high ground taken in. Claybird just gonna get burned super quickly by, I'm pretty sure that was basically everyone on Boa focusing down that Winston. Xler gonna be able to take down Hunter Tane, but I don't think it matters, as I think off the back of that, Boa will just be able to roll through first point here, and they're gonna have a really big time pick here actually. As this, okay, Xler did go for the touch.
Got a little bit of a touching going on.
Yeah.
But
however, not gonna amount to much. 5 minutes for Boa to only push it 82 meters.
Yeah, you don't have to go that far, especially since you haven't really used any ultimates yet. You're slowly building them. Like Boa, they gonna be having this rush come up really soon. They only have the and Xler falling super early to Andrew. I'm not sure where Xler was playing at, but that's not really what you want to see. That's like no car pressure right there.
Yeah, especially when Ronan swapped off of the Ashe, so, you know, that basically means, like, there's, you know, you're basically sort of resetting your ult bank, so I think that sort of puts an even bigger damper here on Oomfie University. The overclock going to be committed here from Andrew, but Obama almost able to take down the Sojourn, but the Suzu last second from Biscuit. That is so impactful to keep the Sojourn alive, and Panini going to be the first one to fall. It's Xlara versus Setsuna on the point, and Xlara will be able to get the better of his Tracer counterpart, but CCare taking down Obama. The pulse bomb from Xlara not going to find anything as Andrew able to snipe out the Tracer with a headshot here as Boa. They now have 3 ultimates for this recontest fight. Panini has to pop the sound barrier for just himself and Clayburn, as there's no one else alive for the side of Oomfie University, and Clayburn just getting poop away. He has to pop the permanent to try to go touch the point. We'll be able to get a last second touch here with the help of that Kitsune rush, but it is just such a desperate attempt here for Oomfie University to find anything, but it's not going to matter as Boa going to be able to go up 2-0.
I mean, that was a great map there from Boa. Not sure. I mean, I think what happened was Oomfie University had a choice between banning first or like a ban order or map, I think. And they chose to ban first. I'm not sure if that was the greatest idea, because we know how good Boa is on dive, and it just showed on this map. They were so dominant, and it was like a free Gibraltar pick for them basically, and it seemed like almost a guaranteed map win in Boa's eyes because of how good their dive is.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it just felt like Boa. I mean, I think maybe at the beginning it looked like Boa were sort of struggling here, because again, I feel like I think maybe like the issues that they have where they were sort of holding on to their ultimates for too long. But like as soon as you see Boa, popping like the nano onto Hunter Tane, or like even nanoing you see carrot just to help keep your backline alive. Yeah, it's just like I feel like as soon as Boa were sort of able to take that initiative to like, okay, we just need to like use our ultimates. We just got to use our ultimates properly. And it's like, yeah, it's basically I think like at that point, as soon as Boa sort of figured that part out, it looks like they basically had control over every single fight. As also, I think Oomfie University had a lot of unfortunate slips-ups here, especially right here, because we did see Obama commit that Kitsune rush, maybe thinking that they could have kept Claybird alive there. So I mean, I think maybe that was just like a slight, maybe just really Oomfie University were just really hoping to turn that fight around, but unfortunately all it ended up doing was sort of bleeding out their time bank. So unfortunately Boa going to be able to take that map here, and we'll be up 2-0, but we will be going into a very short break, but then after that it will be a hybrid map. So yeah, we will be back very shortly.
Well, we are back from our little tiny short break. We were just switching up producers here, so I don't think it's gonna affect the players too much, hopefully. But it looks like the map will be selected already. Looks like we will be heading to Eichenwald.
Eichenwald. Yeah, Eichenwald. I think Eichenwald is like another one of those maps. Like I think it's sort of like the same thing as like Lijiang Tower, where I think like you can sort of run either the dive or the brawl, and I think like either or sort of works. Because like I guess like on second point, it's like, oh, like me, it seems a little bit better to run like the dive here. But obviously, if you're running like a brawl cup, you can always play around you can sort of like walk through castle to take that high ground as well. So I think either one of these comps can work here. So I think honestly, I think I would be more interested in just seeing like, I think like the bans from both teams have always been a little bit interesting because I think it looks like both teams have clearly like done their research on, on like each other, I guess,
We wanted to make sure, especially for this grand finals, that they knew what they were going to go up against. And it looks like we're going to be heading to our little bands right about now.
Wow,
and,
a little band screen.
And looks like Bubba will be banning the Ashe on this map. I mean, that is a character that Ronan does like to play, so getting rid of the Ashe is, fine. And it looks like Ramatra, we will be finally seeing the Ramatra ban after 3 maps.
Wow.
Especially since the blocking and stuff, but obviously we'll be seeing, maybe we're going to be going back to some Orisa comp. So
an Orisa mirror matchup. What?
Perhaps, or maybe like they're gonna put in somebody and they're gonna run something kind of crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, to be honest, it looks like both BOA and Oomfie University, they definitely opted to be like the sort of like meta teams, I think outside of like, I think like the most unconventional thing we see out of BOA is maybe seeing Setsuna playing Genji instead of Tracer. Like that might be like the most not super meta thing that we see BOA doing. Because I think like outside of that, like they're going to be running the Brig Ana or the Lucio Kiri with like a Monkey or like a Ramatra, and then we're going to be seeing Andrew on that Sojourner or that Freya. So I guess like very like meta comps coming out from both teams here, as there is going to be a swap. Denji will be coming in for Claybird, and on the side of BOA, Fragster will be coming back in for Entertain. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if if we do end up seeing maybe seeing an Orisa mirror on this map, considering obviously with our Matra ban, I think Orisa is a very strong brawl tank with I would say like not too many real counter plays into that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that.
I wouldn't be surprised either. I think we're definitely going to be seeing a little bit more ground tank. I'm not sure too much is going to change. We're going to be seeing the Andrew onto the Sojourn. We're going to be seeing Ronan maybe on Cass. We're going to be seeing, the Kiri Lucio backline. I think that, or possibly maybe even maybe some Baptiste would be played on this map. Who knows? But I think they have been in the driver's seat for a lot of this map, especially that Gibraltar. Oomfie University, they got to make some sort of swap, some sort of change to start churning the tides of the series, because once you're down 3-0, it gets pretty rough, because you can't afford to make any more huge mistakes to lose a map. So they really need to get this map win to at least get something on the board.
That is true, you know, because yeah, like when it's 2-1, you know, you're like, okay, like we're still in. There's only like one map, you know, between it being a tied game. But if you're down 3-0, like that, like mentally that hurts so much. Just being down 3 maps like that is an insane thing to climb out of if you're Oomfie University. So this has to be a must-win map for them, to be honest, because I think if they go down 3-0, like it's gonna be really hard for them to sort of pick up that mental game going into the rest of the series if BoA manages to take this. But this is Oomfie University's map pick, so you know, I would assume that, you know, they probably have like a very solid plan on this map specifically, and we can see if it catches BoA off guard maybe. But of course, BoA have been looking incredible so far in this grand finals, so I mean, I guess we'll just have to wait and find out.
We have to wait and see what they're going to be doing here, but looks like we will be seeing that Orisa mirror come out right here. You know, we're not too much of a difference, but like I do say that like Denji was looking great on the Orisa the last time we saw him on it, so I feel like maybe Denji could be the one to bring Oomfie University more life that they need to bring this back. But
yeah,
I do like, you know, what I'm seeing here from Oomfie University. You know, the cast with the BAP and yeah, the cast and BAP, we have a lot of pressure, especially onto that Orisa, who has, you know, just a giant hitbox, especially in the head. So I think,
yeah,
putting all that pressure onto Fraxer might be a little bit difficult to try to sustain.
Yeah, but we'll see though. I think if Oomfie University can't kill Fraxer fast enough and Biscuit can,
it looks like Denji's just gonna just
devastating. But
kill Andrew.
Denji.
Okay, I don't know where Andrew was at, but
okay, Denji. Okay, 2 kills for Denji. As yeah, that's gonna be BoA just backing up off the rip there. Denji starting off very strong there.
With the first fight down right there. Big kill there on the Andrew, you know, basically nothing happened besides Oomfie University building a lot of ults, but forcing BoA to back away and killing some time on the clock. And there looks like we have looking for a pause.
Oh,
Setsuna will be falling from that, it seems like, but
yeah,
unsure what the pause maybe is about. Maybe someone's lagging a little bit, perhaps.
Maybe, yeah, maybe a game crashed, maybe some connectivity issues, but it's now pause time. But also, I do think the Baptiste with the Orisa, I think the Baptiste works better with an Orisa comparatively to a Kiriko, because I think obviously Kiriko does a pretty good amount of healing, and I think obviously a Kitsune Rush Orisa is very scary. But I think if a Baptiste can get window, I think it makes Orisa like basically unkillable as long as the Baptiste can just, you know, pocket the Orisa, because that's like 120 healing every single. That's like 120 healing. Wait, how much does Bap do with like a directed, like was it 60 or 70? I forgot the numbers, but
I really changed it. I don't remember either. Like 60,
yeah, but it's
70.
It's still, yeah, it's like at least like 120 healing like per shot onto an Orisa who has like a fortify up too. Like that is just so much sustain. So I feel like honestly, I think Oomfie University sort of have the advantage playing that Baptiste compared to the Kiriko. I think I would say like maybe like the slip up, like the only like slip up that Oomfie University can maybe have is if Biscuit can just sort of farm up that Kitsune Rush, and off the back of the Kitsune Rush, BoA can just sort of overwhelm the members of Oomfie University. As wow, that's a great pause reason. I don't know.
I don't know. I guess they're just pausing for fun. But
and, you know, yeah, they're pausing for the pausing
the love
fans.
of the game. But again, with this Baptiste, I do like the Baptiste Orisa as well, because you can just put out so much frontline pressure as well on the Baptiste onto the enemy tank, or even just on the DPS as well. Yeah, obviously you can do that on Kiriko, but I think on Baptiste is just like more there. But looks like we'll be heading right back into the game.
Oh, Ronin. Yeah, Ronin was falling really low there, but we'll be able to survive luckily, as BoA just gonna be waiting for Setsuna to come back in so that before they can, you know, get this push working for BoA. As yeah, looks like Setsuna is back, so they will finally be pushing through this left side here, looking to punish Xlera, but Xlera will just be able to escape with his life luckily, so no picks for both sides, but Seeker falling pretty low here, so Oomfie University could go for an aggro push here, but Andrew gonna be taking down Ronin and Fraxter. falling pretty low, but with that Fortify and the help of the Kiriko, we'll be able to keep the team alive. But Denji gonna be able to get the kill onto Biscuit as well. So so little healing for the side of Boa and Setsuna. Just sort of alone on this point in the window coming out from Abana to take down 2. As yeah, Oomfie University able to again just sort of, it looks like they just sort of have control of a lot of these fights here with, you know, I think Denji's doing a really good job of holding the space and making sure that Boa can't just sort of walk around the map for free here, as Denji is definitely marking a lot of these important members here. Pulse from a fighter. Oh. That was very dangerous there. Biscuit almost falling into that one, but luckily we'll be able to survive. And now the Katsuna Rush available here for the side of Boa, but Fragster going to be popping the Arista ultimate first, but the sound barrier good to counteract that. Fragster falling so incredibly low here, the Suzu good to keep the Arista alive, but as I say that, 2 members of Boa gonna fall to Xlera and Panini respectively. So yeah, Boa's just gonna have to back up again. 2 minutes wiped off the time bank so far, and Oomfie University looking way stronger comparatively to last map.
Look, they've changed so much from the last maps. I mean, they look like a completely different team. I mean, they have been on it for this map. I mean, they've been really looking so strong and great. I mean, obviously Boa, they have a lot of ults coming out here right now. Yeah, Boa is gonna having a lot of ults coming out here. They're trying to ult dump onto this point.
Yeah, we seeing the overclock coming out from Andrew, and Xlera going to be the first one to fall. Andrew has 150 charge, so he can one-shot a squishy if he can land the bullets, but no more besides that 1 kill onto the Tracer. But it's high noon coming out here from Ronin. Not going to be able to find too much besides removing some of that overhealth that's going to be here in the blade from Setsuna. Good to take down Panini and slashing onto Abdomen as well. We'll be taking down the backline of Oomfie University, and I think off the back of these ultimates, Boa will be able to finally take the point, but as I say that, Denji doing a pretty good job. Oh!
That's the teabag onto Xlera.
Getting teabag. That'll get you banned in Tranquility League.
I will. But Boa used you know, all their ults that they had, Oomfie University as well, but Oomfie University, they're gonna have the ult advantage here. I think they're gonna try to play pretty close. Setsuna almost getting killed there onto a bomber, forcing the lamp though.
Yeah,
pretty early.
And I think getting rid of the lamp is really big for Boa, considering I think that means that you can sort of have that brawl advantage, especially if Biscuit still has the Suzu up. I think that could really help Boa here. Xlera looking for a pulse bomb, but it's going to go a little bit wide, but Ronin going to be able to hit the shots onto C-Carrot as Xlera eventually though will fall to Andrew though, so it's going to be an even fight, but Ronin finding so much value on this Cassidy able to take down Andrew as well as the rest of Oomfie University. Looks like they will be cleaning up this fight here. Setsuna looking for anything here. Actually does have Biscuit available to help keep that Genji alive, and Setsuna actually going to be able to take down Panini. Setsuna and Biscuit are turning this fight around. Setsuna taking down another, as now Xlera trying to challenge Biscuit and Setsuna, but I think Oomfie University just have to back up now.
Yeah, it looked like Oomfie University honestly had that. I thought they were winning that during that fight, but Setsuna and Biscuit on that high ground just finding a lot of picks up there, really just, and then now Oomfie University or Boa is going to be getting a lot of card progress here.
Yeah, but Ronin has a high note available, but Setsuna again starting off a fight, taking down Xlera, the team back for good pleasure. Ronin gonna be able to get Denji with 3, with 4.
Boop hit from Panini, booping them back into their wrist out, finding 4 there. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
That was a great play there from Denji and Panini. I mean, that was beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, you know, we were maybe a little focused on the teabag there from Setsuna, but the coordination from Denji and Panini basically picture perfect for Oomfie University. And Xlera starting off the fight with a kill onto Seeker, no Lucio on the side of Boa, so looks like they're sort of scrambling to get it back up here. But Denji taking down Andrew. Biscuit gonna be able to get a kill onto Xlera, but Denji just putting in the work on Arisa, as yeah, it looks like Boa just struggling to sort of back out here. If they die late, this is really bad here, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Both Biscuit and Setsuna going to die really late, and that's really bad for Boa, especially considering you only have 50 seconds left to push this payload.
Yeah, looking pretty grim there for Boa, but they do have 5 ults coming up. That's what they did exactly on the first point. They used basically 5 ults almost as well to be able to cap that point, but they're gonna have to actually push the card here. I mean, you can't just use your ults and then win the point, but no.
Yeah, but Boa
other ults as well
does have 5 ultimates though, So if I'm Boa, you want to make sure you use those ultimates correctly. Xlera going to be popping the pulse bomb, but we'll just die to C carrot actually. So Boa going to be popping that Aristo, and I think they're actually just going to win the fight off the back of only 2 ultimates. So if I'm Boa, I'm really happy with that fight win. Yeah, you still have both the PSLs and the sound barrier for this recontest fight here.
Yeah, they might have to use something here, especially for the recontest fight. But unless Panini gets put out here early, it looks like Panini was able to just live. But the beat will come out, finding just
only hits 2 though, unfortunately. But the high noon from Ronin. This has been one for Fracture, hitting a crazy spear from across the map to make sure that high noon can't get any value as Setsuna going to be able to take down Panini as well. And it looks like Boa in this overtime push will be able to get the picks required to push it into 3rd point. Huh?
Got a high noon across the map.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know if you saw.
How did Ronin even get there?
Was playing all the way back there, but Fraxter letting. Yeah,
Fraxter,
good to hit the spear though. So you know what, Fraxter, you're the savior for Boa in that team fight. Off
they had to use all those ults there for this, but you know, you want to be able to cap that point anyway. It's fine. But it looks like Benji will actually have the Orisa shoot here. As heard, or Fraxter will not.
Yeah, but the Su's are going to be forced though, but unfortunately, no damage done to the members of Boa, and actually Xlera going to be the first one to fall to Biscuit. So Boa now have the opportunity to push in. No Tracer on the side of Oomfie University, as it looks like that's exactly what they're going to try to do, as they're just collapsing onto Ronin. Will get taken down here. Denji maybe looking for a trade onto a member, but not going to be able to find it, as everyone on Boa just maybe a little bit too fast to be able to, it's going to be a little bit hard to find them when they just hide, when they're just flying everywhere around the map. As it's just going to be cleanup here for the side of Boa, and 20 seconds left, and we're seeing Ronin on this Reaper here, and both supports available for the side of Boa going into this final fight. We see Xlera looking for a pulse bomb, not going to find too much. They able to chunk down Biscuit a pretty good amount though, but now the sound barrier and the Casino Rush going to be committed, and Xlera going to be the first one to fall once again. It's now going to be most likely a overtime push over the side of Boa, but Biscuit, that is insane. Just able to take down the Baptiste, and if Boa can cap a time here, that is absolutely insane. It looks like they might actually be able to. 1.2 seconds on the time bank.
1.2 with time. That's all that matters. But that was a pretty good attack there from Boa. It did look pretty rough for most of the time, but once Boa was able to build up a lot of ults, they were able to start actually making progress onto the point. Oomfie University still, this defense looked really, really good for them. They looked so strong, especially on that first point, holding them down to about like a minute left. So, I mean, if Oomfie University can do something like this on attack, I think that they have a really good shot of having a lot of time on the bank and just winning in overtime.
Yeah, and I mean, and also when you cap with, even if it's just 1 second, you prevent it from being a scenario where if Oomfie University cap with more than a minute, it's not going to be a loss or a draw. It's going to be, you can still have your attack on and maybe be able to turn it around in your favor. As I do think Oomfie University had such a good hold on second point, but it looks like when it came to third point, it looks like, I don't know, it looked like they sort of maybe lost their footing and maybe just got sort of overwhelmed by the ultimate bank for the side of Boa. But yeah, we're looking back at that Ursa ultimate. That ultimate was basically picture perfect. That's the cross map high noon there from Ronin, or high noon from Ronin, but unfortunately going to get shut down by Fraxter. So now it is going to be the attack for Oomfie University, as I think we are seeing like just the only things that are very different between both sides is that DPS comp, with Oomfie University playing that cast Tracer, but Boa on that Sojourn Genji.
Yeah, but Biscuit already finding a kill really early there onto Ronin, forcing the back up is kind of something we saw similar on a Boa's defense as well, or attack as well. But yeah, obviously they want to go fast with this Genji and use the dash and ability to go in, but it looks like Xlera is trying to go in, trying to get a nice little pick there onto Biscuit, forced out. No more recall, but
yeah, but we're seeing Oomfie University playing so aggro, and Denji going to be able to get one. And it looks like off the back of that dive, maybe Oomfie University could get this win, but the fight's actually going pretty back and forth here, as Xlera just on the point, you're able to take down Andrew and also get a tick. It's just Xlera left on this point right now, the 1v2, and it looks like Xlera will be opting to back up here. You definitely don't want to die right now. Just sort of wait for your team to come back, as your team does have the respawn advantage. As now Xlera will be taking a more aggressive position, as now Oomfie University going to be looking to push back in here, but doing a pretty good job of sort of staying alive. And both C-Carrot and Panini gonna fall here, so no Lucio on either side, but Sasuna is so incredibly low here. Really good job from Biscuit though to keep the Genji alive, as Fraxter also really low here, so Biscuit just kind of sort of has to play healer duty. But as I say that, Ronin going to be able to get the kill onto Setsuna, but Biscuit somehow takes down Genji. That's no tank available for the side of Oomfie University, but it looks like Oomfie University were just able to take so much space in that fight that Boa just not really going to be able to get a contest onto the point there.
Yeah, Oomfie University capping the point on pretty early there, finding Fraxter and a few more picks there as well. They're going to be able to push this card through the first checkpoint here, or this first choke point here. Really, like, getting rid of one of the, I feel like one of the troublesome choke points, which is like that first area. But sometimes you can just stall there for a really long time, but, you know, those nice picks there, getting rid of it. But Sasuna's really caught out here, hoping not to die here, but looks like it's
okay, yeah.
We'll be able to make it out.
To survive.
Looks like trying to get to the card, trying to find a pick there onto Scalera.
Yeah, unfortunately not going to be able to find too much, but Ronin going to be the one to get a clean headshot there onto Setsuna. And Oomfie University are just continuing to keep this card rolling here. Denji going to be popping the Arista. Well, not going to find too much, but Boa again. Have 5 ultimates going into this fight now, so Oomfie University, you should be a little bit concerned of that, but it looks like Escalera and Ronin just getting the picks required here to maybe just flat out win the fight. But as I say that, Biscuit going to be able to get the trade on to Ronin though, as now I find Oomfie University, you do want to back up though. You don't really have your DPS in the fight, and maybe it's just smarter to wait for your, maybe just regroup and go back in with your with the ultimates here.
Yeah, the whole ultimate here, Setsuna was caught out by Panini and Denji. Looked like they'll be using
oh my gosh,
every support else will be using the lobby, trying to find some sort of value with it. But the high noon and the overclock comes out from Andrew and Ronin, trying to not really find anybody, but looks like Oomfie University will be killing everybody based off all those ults that just happened there. But
I'm not so sure if that was really smart there for Boa. They committed 4 ultimates in a 4v5. Maybe again, I feel like maybe it's like an issue for both teams, but both teams are just really relying on these sort of miracle plays to sort of carry them through some of these fights. But unfortunately, that can't really happen all the time, especially when you are just down one. But Obama and Ronin are so incredibly low here. This fight could maybe be turnable, but as I say that, everyone on Boa will unfortunately fall, as Oomfie University will be able to cap with 4 minutes left on the time bank.
I mean, this is what I was thinking was happening. I mean, Oomfie University, they look so strong in this defense. I was thinking they might be able to get to this 3rd point, possibly cap with a ton of time and help them with this overtime push. But I mean, it looks like it might be true. I mean, Oomfie University, they have this Arista out here coming out, but I think they're trying to look to use this pretty early. They got nothing else to use, but I think they definitely have a really good shot here on capping with a lot of time.
Yeah, but obviously 3rd point icon wall, I would say it's pretty infamously known for being super hard to cap through, and yeah, it's Xrd is gonna die to Setsuna, unfortunately. So Oomfie University gonna have to, looks like we're just gonna have to back up here. That we are gonna be seeing them backing away. They don't really want to challenge this without their Tracer in the field, but you know, still 3 minutes and still a Katsune Rush and a Risol and Noon available, and basically 5 ultimates coming out here for Oomfie University. So this could be a very ult heavy fight, and it's especially starting off when Denji picks off Setsuna to start, and Denji has the Reverse ult available, hits so many members up. Boa able to take down 2 with that ultimate. That is absolutely massive, and Denji able to get the cleanup onto everyone from the side of Boa, and Setsuna maybe the only one available to touch it with this Dragon Blight, but there's going to be a very hero attempt here from the side of Setsuna, but actually takes down 1. The hiding from Ronin that shut down the Genji, and also the Katsune Rush going to be committed here by Obama Xlera. Popping the poke bomb from Ronin, going absolutely insane on this Cassidy, but take down another one, but the Arista ult from Fraxter. Good to take down Ronin though. So I mean, honestly, if I'm moving University, this fight might actually be losable for them, as yeah, Boa have the better respawns, and they still have Fraxter very healthy on this point here. Panini just coming back to find, you know, his team, basically his team dead. So yeah, they're just gonna have to back up.
I mean, X-Layer out there on, or Setsuna on the Genji, just finding that 1 pick. I guess that's all they need. I guess they did kill Panini, who did have the sound barrier there, so they were unable to like be sustained for that fight. So, I mean, I think that definitely saved them here with 2 minutes remaining on the clock. I mean, Oomfie University, they only have the sound barrier to work with here, and it will probably just get mirrored. But it looks like Andrew's also going to have an overclock, so I think that this overclock here has to be big. It has to find some sort of value here.
Yeah, and we are going to be seeing the B engage coming out here from Panini. Secret popping their own sound barrier, but Setsuna going to die first too. Xlera, but still this overclock from Andrew could get a ton of value here. Xlera playing very dangerously, but Fragster gonna be the one to be taking a lot more pressure, but Biscuit has that Casino Rush available, so now Boa gonna try to push in here, but actually just looking to hold the space here actually, so not looking to aggress forward that much here, just forcing Oomfie University back. But now Oomfie University have this Orisa ult to push back in if they wanted to, so maybe Boa should have played a little bit more aggro, as now we're going to be seeing the Orisa ult coming out here from Denji. No kills found though, and Andrew is actually going to be able to get the first kill onto Xlera. The High Noon coming out here from Ronan though. This has to be huge, but no, he's just going to get stunned out of it. The spear from Fragster is so huge, and Andrew taking down another, getting another kill onto Panini, yet Satsuna with the cleanup kill onto Ronan as well. So yeah, Oomfie University just going to have to back up.
I mean, Boa, they've been looking so solid on this defense here. I think Oomfie University, they have this rush, they have this pulse coming up. They gotta make something happen with this. I mean, Boa, they have this Orisa ult as well to maybe try to counteract the rush here, but with 40 seconds remaining, you're looking a little bit worried. But oh my gosh, almost falling there early. That was a great spear there from Fragster, but
Xlera looks for something, but just gonna die.
And the pulse bomb is used.
Yeah, and even the pulse I'm committed to, that is so unfortunate there for Oomfie University. Is now it's final fight territory, and you don't have this pulse bomb available here. Obamna though does have this Casino Rush, but look at Boa, they have their own Casino Rush coming up as well, and also the overclock from Andrew, and even the Orisa. We are seeing the Casino Rush coming out here from Oomfie University, so this has to be absolutely massive, but no kills found. Incredible just yet. The overclock going to be committed though from Andrew, and the Orisa from Fragster could be it. Takes down 2. Fragster taking down 3 on this Orisa, and Andrew and Fragster taking down 4.
Fragster finding 4 there onto the Orisa, 2 with the ultimate ability hitting. A little bit of a victory dance, but Boa will be going to match point.
Dude, my voice just cracked so much, but yeah, Boa going up 3-0 in the series.
Wow, I mean, what do you thought it was down for Boa with 4 minutes on the Oomfie University attack push? They held it the entire time. They were not letting him cap that point. I mean, they played that so well. I mean, that was a great blade there from Satsuna from the very first stall, which kind of just like snowballed them into being unable to cap the point. Even if Satsuna was kind of getting caught out there a lot on first fights, and I think costing them a few points in fights there. But I do think that Andrew and Fragster are really stepping up there a lot, finding so many picks. I think Fragster has some really good plays there on the Orisa, especially during that final fight. And I mean, I feel like University, they still played that so well, but they were just, they just got held on that 3rd point on Ikamod.
Yeah, I will say though, this has definitely been the closest map of the series though. So honestly, I think the worst part for Oomfie University is now you're in a 3-0 deficit. So if you want to, even have a chance to take home the hello, that's a teabag right there. But if you want to be, if you want to even have a chance to take the C League championship here, you have to win 4 maps in a row. But right now, I mean, honestly, with a loss that close, like, it must be very mentally booming for you. For honestly, it's just mentally booming for the team in general when you're just that close to winning. You had 4 minutes left to push it all the way. So not being able to do that is just so unfortunate there if you are Oomfie University. But obviously there still is going to be another map, as this is a 1st-to-4 series. So 1 more map at least. So maybe we'll see some magic come out from maybe we'll see some magic coming out from from Oomfie University. But Boa just looking so strong this entire series right now, and like this fight right here, like it just looked like there were so many opportunities for it just seemed like that Oomfie University sort of had the advantage, but then Boa just able to swing it back in their favor. I think Fragster, again, as you said before, Fragster is just looking so solid on this Orisa.
Yeah, Oomfie University, I mean, they've made so many. They were making, like, Ronan was hitting so many nice shots onto the cast. I think Denji was also playing like extremely well in the Orisa as well. I just think that they got a little bit caught off guard a little bit, I think, by just like how much of the stall that Boa was actually having. But it looks like we'll be heading to a push/flashpoint. We will see who will want to pick a map or do some bans. But again, yeah, Oomfie University, they need to make something happen. It is looking pretty rough for them so far. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure what they're planning on doing right now. They have to. I mean, they have to switch something up. I don't know if it's like going to be comp or players or something, but I feel like whatever they've been doing is just Boa's just been. It seemed like Boa just had a read on Oomfie University the entire season. I mean, like Oomfie University has just not been able to beat Boa every single time they met.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it looks like I mean, we got a lovely range of maps right here that they can choose from.
True.
But,
and yeah, it looks
I mean,
like Oomfie will be taking the first ban here, so Boa will be picking the map. Honestly, that is a very dangerous game to play if you are Oomfie University, because if you look at the win rates for Boa, like they're really good at Esperanza and Yuzhong City, but it's like I feel like Boa like sort of have an idea of like what map they want to run. So I feel like
has like an idea for a ban, or like has like, you know, but like last time they gave him that map pick, it was Gibraltar, and they just played what Boa is really good at, which is the dive.
Mm-hmm.
Letting them have that choice again might be pretty rough, but it looks like they will be choosing Saravasa here. I mean, Saravasa is it's a great map. I do enjoy myself some Saravasa, and I do think that we're going to be seeing the Ramatra come back. It cannot be banned by, I think, Oomfie University. So, unless Boa decides to ban it, obviously, but I don't think they will. I think they've been looking really good on it. But Oomfie University banning Genji, I think that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to ban some sort of Genji, ban one of the DPSs, either Sojourn or Genji. You know, I mean, they can't ban Freya, but like, I think that they were afraid that Boa possibly banning a DPS like Cass. I know they can't, but like, they were banning some sort of DPS just so like to protect their because I feel like the DPS line has been really strong this series, so I think protecting a DPS would be great. But Oomfie University obviously wanted to ban one of their DPSs, which is going to be Genji. It's going to be forcing the Tracer mirror again, which I do think Setsuna has been looking great onto the Tracer, so we'll be seeing a little bit of that as well. But I'm not sure what Boa will be deciding to ban. We haven't seen a single support ban yet this entire series. I think that maybe, I mean, I don't know if they really want to go for a support. I mean, I feel like, I don't know what other tank they would want to ban either. I mean, they could also ban the Orisa or the Ramatra themselves, but it looks like Oomfie will be having a sub here. It looks like Bree is going to be going in for Panini, so we're going to be swapping out one of the supports here. And it looks like we will be banning Junker Queen. I mean, sure. Why not? I guess. I guess if you don't want to play against a Junker, maybe Oomfie University was secretly going to play Junker Queen, and now they're banned.
No. Yeah, but Boa have the read. They know that Oomfie University just loves playing Junker Queen on this map. You know what? Maybe Boa's like playing a tank that like Queen is good into, or like maybe like in a scrim, like the team that they scrim play Queen, they're like, man, that was awful. We're banning Queen in our game no matter what.
Yeah, that could have happened, I guess. I'm not sure, but we will definitely be seeing some sort of Ramir.
True. I do think the biggest thing to look out for, though, is I'm pretty sure Setsuna will be opting to play the Tracer now, since obviously there is a Genji ban. So I'm assuming, maybe Oomfie University are just sick and tired of Setsuna on Genji. They want to take that Tracer mirror going into this map. So I do wonder what kind of support line they are going to run with Bree coming in for Panini, because I feel like Panini has been like their dedicated main support player for this team. And I'm pretty sure Bree, I don't know what Bree's role on this team is specifically, but as far as I can recall, I'm pretty sure like they could have been a flex support player, but I also don't remember too much about that. But we'll see what comps will be ran here. But map will be Saravasa, and if Oomfie University, if they want even a chance here, this is where they really need to start locking in.
We are here into the match point. Boa versus Oomfie University. We have Saravasa here. I mean, it all comes down to this final point here. Andrew is gonna be on the Reaper guy.
Reaper. You know what? I respect that, Andrew. Woo! Yeah, I think Reaper is always such a fun character to watch. You know, just because it's just this big man with 2 shotguns just walking up to people and just killing them. So you know what? I honestly can see this Reaper pick maybe working out here.
Yeah, I think this the Reaper pick here has a lot of hype moments and aura going on with it, and they're really going to be trying to look to punish, I guess, the tank here. But I think it's going to really leave Ronin, I think, very open to a lot of different angles and kind of uncontested.
Yeah, maybe, especially considering when you are on the Reaper, it can provide a ton of pressure onto Denji maybe, but it could be a little bit hard to apply pressure onto Ronin. But Xlayer just falling first to Setsuna. So Setsuna able to get the better of his Tracer counterpart, but Andrew just sort of caught out in the open, popping that Wavestorm maybe a little bit too early there. But that's such a good move there from Seeker, and Ronin just gonna fall. So Boa most likely just gonna be able to get the first cap off the back of that Obama, just taking so much pressure. Will fall as well as, yeah, we're gonna be seeing Andrew hopping over back onto the Sojourn here, as it looks like Oomfie University is still opting to fight on this point here, but Bree just taking so much damage will eventually get cleaned up by Seeker, and yes, Setsuna just trying to chase down Xlayer, but Bo will be able to get the first cap here.
Yeah, Andrew swapping off that Reaper pretty quickly there. Unfortunately, it was not really working, so we're going to be seeing Andrew back into the Sojourn, but it was a great first flip here from Boa. Not too many ultimates here to work with, but I do think they have to go into this nice dry fight here, try to look for something here. I think Xlayer would need to go into the backline, try to find some sort of pick onto someone, which is exactly what Xlayer did.
Yeah, Xlayer going to be able to get the opening pick onto Andrew, but Setsuna going to be able to equalize. But Xlayer taking down 2 in the backline, though, getting massive value on this Tracer, taking down a 3rd. So Xlayer popping off on this Tracer for this fight, as Oomfie University going to be able to flip the point without even having to use a single ultimate there.
What's up?
I mean, that was really good there from University. I mean, Xlayer in that backline looked really dangerous, finding Andrew.
Xlayer again.
Kind of pulse bomb. Unfortunately, was unable to stick it. So Setsuna's looking for pulse bomb themselves. So I think that Xlayer Setsuna can hit an awesome pulse bomb here. It could really change the fight of this fight.
Yeah, it looks like both teams are going very back and forth, but unfortunately, Bree just going in a little bit too aggro. Obama landing a crazy headshot there onto Setsuna. I think that Ramatra ult from Denji good to take down most members of Boa. Fraxter gonna pop their Ramatra ult to take down the Ramatra counterpart, but I'm not so sure about that, considering, I mean, unless Boa can get a quick potion here, but maybe, yeah, but Xlayer putting a ton of pressure onto Seeker, so if you are Boa, this does seem to be a little bit of a messy fight here, but it looks like eventually, though, Boa is going to be able to sustain and fight on this payload, but Seeker is so incredibly low, and Xlayer trying to get the chase, but Andrew going to be able to snipe Xlayer out of the sky, but Ronin going to be able to equalize with a kill onto Setsuna, so still a very back and forth fight here. Either team can take this fight here. Yeah, but Ronin able to take down Andrew. The sound barrier coming out here from both sides, but the sound barrier from Seeker doesn't hit Biscuit or Setsuna, though. Yeah, I mean, it didn't really hit anyone, so unfortunately, yeah, Biscuit just gonna die to Ronin, and now in a pretty big disadvantage here for this fight here. It's just Fragster trying to punch away at Denji, but you know, you can't kill a Ramatra that easily. It's gonna be Denji taking you down, and I think Oomfie University finally gonna be able to flip this point back around in their favor, and I think that's gonna be a round 1 win to Oomfie University, starting off on Servasa.
Yeah, it looks like they got, you know, they've been looking a little bit stronger here onto this map. I think maybe this might be a little bit more of a comfort pick for a map, but Boa, they were using some ults in interesting ways. I mean, unfortunately, that sound barrier did only find C Carrot, and that's about it. So I feel like you really would want to have that beat back if you could.
Yeah, and even though this fight is, you know, it was even to start, but you know, it does look like Boa will unfortunately are just gonna have to back up here. Andrew gonna be able to get a kill onto Ronin, but you know, not really going to amount to too much, as it's just going to be cleanup here for the rest of Oomfie University, as just Setsuna left on the point, able to get the kill out to Xlera, but yeah, Oomfie University will be able to finally get the first cap here. And honestly, if I'm Oomfie University, I'm really happy right now. You have this Katsuna Rush, and you also have this Ramatra ult, and you're already building up percentage. So I think this Oomfie University is in a really good spot right now.
I mean, they've been playing this so well. I feel like they've been really building and saving these ults and using them at the right time. And they really don't have. I really feel like I haven't really wasted too many ults or have any ults that like really didn't go their way.
Yeah, but now we're going to be seeing this overclock coming out here from Andrew, but Denji just gonna burn the soldier, but the boop from Seacarrot, that is absolutely insane. Setsuna able to take down a bomb there as well. So off the back of that boop from Seacarrot, this fight just gonna flip onto the
Denji went fine.
Just gonna have to flip over to Boa off the back of that. That is an insane play there from Seacarrot.
I feel like Denji just like went a lot farther than he was supposed to, but I don't know. That was especially in that Ramatra ult. I mean, that's really that has to be tough as getting booped out of your Ramatra ult. I mean Boas, they have 3 ults here coming up. Oomfie University, they basically use almost everything they have. Setsuna is looking for like a pulse bomber here under the backline possibly, but I think if Boa can rotate these ults, they might be able to turn this point.
Yeah, and Setsuna in the backline here looking for a pulse bomb, but just sort of gonna blink around to cause a bit of a distraction, and Bree unfortunately gonna fall on the side to Biscuit, but Obama gets to take down 2 kills actually on the Kiriko. That is absolutely massive, but it looks like, at the end of the day, it looks like Boa are still in control of this point here, as just gonna be XR left on the point, will die to Fragster, as yeah, Boa racking up 70% now, so this is gonna be Final Fight territory for this point.
They got the wave respawn. They have a little bit of time to touch. I think it's going to be pretty rough. Looks like Xlera might have to go for the touch on the side. But Boa has a sound barrier to try to stop this overclock here that they have. We're going to be trying to engage him, but Denji falling super low, forcing him to use the block already.
Yeah, Denji just taking so much damage here. Seeking against Ajax Ronin. That is an incredible play there from him. Able to take down 3 with the overclock as well. So able to take down a 4th. Ronin just, you know what, Ronin? That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
That is absolutely crazy there from Ronin, finding the Ajax onto the Seacarrot. That was their one ult that they had that they needed to use to try to win this fight, and it looks like
Xlera taking down Biscuit already. That's so little healing now for Boa in this recontest fight. We're gonna be popping the sound barrier for good measure. Yeah, you know what? You just want to make sure you can really win. Xlera gonna be able to get pretty good cleanup here. Oomfie University going up 2-0 now on this flashpoint. This is, if Oomfie University wanted a turnaround, this is sort of exactly what you want right now.
Definitely agree here with that. Boa, they looked like they might have had that point, but then Ronin with the crazy overclock, they're finding Seacarrot onto the Ajax and 4. I mean, a lot of these, they're slowly building these ults here, but it looks like Boa's going to be, or Oomfie University is going to have like the point control here first. They got a little bit of a tracer duel here on the side. Forced, this one's forced to go away.
Yeah, and also Obama has that Katsune Rush available here, so if University can just sort of hunker down on point, which it looks like that's what they're doing here. Biscuit gonna be popping the Katsune Rush first, but Obama with the counter Katsune Rush here, and Denji has our Montreal available to keep himself alive if he absolutely has to the pulse bomb. Gonna be committed, but Xlera taking down 2 on this tracer now. So yeah, looks like Boa just unfortunately not able to really find much of anything there, as Oomfie University racking up 30, able to rack up. I think they're basically going to be able to get 50% by the time Boa even attempts to go for a fight here.
There's a few ultimates coming up here, but I feel like Xlera has been looking really strong on Tracer on this map. I feel like they've really been stepping it up recently for this map, and it looks like
for sure.
Forcing a few cooldowns here to back up, but looks like nothing really major so far. But Andrew with the overclock, finding Xlera.
Yeah, that's such Andrew just getting another one as well on the Sojourn here. Andrew getting his value as well with the overclock, as finally Bo will be able to flip the point back. But Oomfie University, you got 90% there, so honestly, I'm not really that upset here because you can sort of just build up like a really good ultimate economy going into these next couple of fights, or even this final fight if Oomfie University can win this one out. So if you are Boa, you really have to be careful of this overclock from Ronin. As last time, it ended up in an Ajax, and also Bree has that sound barrier as well. So very big ultimates here on the side of Oomfie University, and the beat engage going to be committed first, and Biscuit going to fall before the sound barrier can really reach her, unfortunately. And now the overclock going to be committed here by Ronin to try to pick off Seed Carrot, but Setsuna able to take down Xlera, and now the slow going to be committed there onto Ronin to make sure that the overclock can't get that much value here. Only one shot really hit onto Setsuna, but 3 members on Boa are so incredibly low, and Bree able to take down Setsuna. Denji going to be able to take down Sea Carrot as well, and Oomfie University, they're cleaning up the rest of Boa and will be able to flip the point here 90%. And Boa has basically no one left to touch the point besides maybe Biscuit, but with Biscuit not being going to be able to touch, Oomfie University able to take their map in this grand final. So now it will be 1-3.
Yeah, I mean, hey, the reverse sweep's got to start with a map win, and that's exactly what they have right here. Oomfie University bringing it back. Instead of it's still going to be match point for Boa, but Oomfie University, they brought new life into this whole series. I think that it definitely helps a lot the mental, I feel like, as well. Just knowing that, like, 100%. Hey, we can definitely win. We can win this series. We can win this map. Let's just bring it back. Let's reverse sweep this. We're going to be seeing a little bit of the repeated of maps, but I think also that.
Like, not to mention, that was like a 3-0 as well on Servasa, I'm pretty sure. Like,
yeah, it was
Oomfie University really looked in control there, in my opinion, on that map.
I think Xlera has looked really strong on this map on Tracer. I feel like Xlera was really finding so many picks and just like winning a lot of duels here.
Yeah.
And helping his team out so much with just finding these picks. But I do think that Oomfie University, they could possibly bring this back. Obviously, they just banned the Genji. They cannot ban the Genji again, so Setsuna will be back onto it. So maybe that will be enough, but we will definitely will see for the next map. But Xlera looking great on the Tracer. I think Ronin was also looking really good there on the Sojourn. I felt like
the Ajax was
in
so
that driver's seat for this entire map. And there it was right there. I mean,
yeah,
that beat right there they needed. Boa really needed that beat there, and oh man, I feel like they've been looking so strong this series, but this is just Oomfie University's map.
Yeah, and we're spinning.
Yay!
Yeah, and then going back to Xlera, I do think there was maybe like a couple. I think there were unfortunately a lot of fights on the first couple of maps there where it looked like Xlera sort of got caught out by himself. But on Servasa, I think Xlera kind of really turned it around there on the Tracer, because I think the camera wasn't really on Xlera all the time, but we saw in the kill feed him getting this pulse bomb kills followed up with like another pick onto like a support as well. So. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that was just a pretty good look there for Oomfie University. And again, like, yeah, that's definitely what you want if you are Oomfie University, because you really want to maybe get that potential reverse sweep here. But the next map type will be Escort, so we'll see.
And we're going to be circling back to Escort here. Boa did already go Watchpoint Gibraltar, which I do think is definitely their map with the dive. I'm not sure what else to pick. There's either Root or Junkertown as the other two, so I don't know which one they're gonna pick. I think both of the maps kind of lead into different ways you want to play it. There's also there's also Rialto.
Route 66. Both teams have never played this map before in BPL.
Wow. Yeah. Well, yeah, they have never played this map before, and they will be choosing it. So we have literally zero idea what to expect on this map. You have nothing. You got nothing to go off of, but I'm assuming we're probably just very similar things we've been seeing before. Possibly, like, maybe they might decide to go to the Winston dive on this map. It can work, but I'm unsure. but I don't know if you really want to commit to it unless it's like a super high ground map. But it looks like Oomfie University will be banning Winston.
Interesting. Well, I'm
So
assuming maybe the Winston ban is maybe just like they are expecting a sort of repeat of Gibraltar maybe, and they don't want to encounter that again, obviously. So just banning out the Winston outright. So I'm assuming we could maybe see some Hazard coming out, or maybe even like the Diva, or even maybe even like a Ball, or we could just see more, more Brawl,
yeah,
more Brawl coming out here. And Ball's gonna be banning the Tracer.
Ooh, I feel like that is a pretty good ban. We mostly only seen Xlera on the Tracer, and making it so you don't have to take that Tracer duel if the Genji isn't working out. I think is actually is honestly going to be pretty beneficial there for Boa. I think that forcing Xlera off that Tracer, especially from that last map performance, you're going to be seeing Xlera maybe on Genji, or maybe I'm not sure what other DPS Xlera will be playing, but I think we're going to be seeing probably still some Ramatra gameplay, or maybe some Hazard. I'm not sure. They did ban the Winston, so no more dive until maybe next map. But
oh man, no more dive.
Man. Oh man.
Oh man. Oh man. I love dive.
Somebody lock their wrecking balls.
Yeah. Let's get some Widowmaker going. Let's see something really funky. And looks like there is going to be a sub for Boa. Hunter Tane will be coming back in for Fragster. Obviously, Hunter Tane, I think he sort of cemented himself as the dive specialist of Boa, so...
Unable to play the Winston, though, is going to be pretty rough there, I will say. I feel like Hunter Tane has been looking really good on that Winston these past 2 games. So we're going to be seeing Hunter Tane on something a little bit different here. I'm unsure what it will be, but I'm assuming it will be something a little... assuming it will be something a little bit... Maybe the Hazard. I feel like maybe Hunter Tane's got a Hazard in him. Maybe. But I do think that without this Tracer, I'm very curious on what Oomfie University is actually going to do here. Because I feel like they've been really relying on this Tracer for just backline pressure, just in general. So having the Tracer gone and out, I'm curious if Xlera will be just taking this Genji mirror.
Yeah, I mean, I do think, like, obviously the Tracer ban is to make sure that Setsuna can play his comfort pick, so... I guess, like, maybe Xlera could also just, like, find, like, a different character to play that can work well into the Genji that isn't, like, necessarily a full-on mirror, but, it does seem like that both teams are, like, very, like, they are very big, like, they are very favorable in terms of just playing metacom, so it looks like maybe they don't really want to run something a little bit unconventional here. I think also we could maybe see Hunter Tane on the Diva as well instead of the Winston going into this map, as Route 66 can also, I think Brawl comms can work pretty well on Route 66 as,
especially with
I guess
Ramatra. You can kind of just sit there on the point and kind of just like not die, have your supports heal you from the high ground.
It's like, speaking from personal experience, like I did play Ramatra on Route 66, and yeah, like the strat is to, like, if you can hunker down on the point and sort of drain their timing, because the Ramatra can do that super well with the block, and as long as, like, you just are able to keep your Ramatra alive, like, that's just like a ton of point presence as well. That can maybe be a little bit hard to break if you're on, like, even like a Hazard or like a Diva. Like, it can be a little bit hard to just kill a Ramatra just holding down the point unless you can sort of surround him. But obviously you have 4 other members to care about if there is a Ramatra sitting down on the payload, and even then that is still just like so much time burnt off of the bank here. But it looks like we will be seeing Oomfie University rolling out on this Hazard comp. Yeah, wait, I thought Winston was banned. Hunter Tane, are you cheating? Hunter Tane, are you cheating? You know what?
Who cares?
You know what? The ban system. Who cares about the ban system? Oh, okay.
We have an Ana ban.
We've just been told it was an Ana ban instead of a Winston ban, but it did. It apparently apparently they read it as a banana ban, and apparently they thought it was Winston. But that's whatever. As with the Ana being banned, it looks like we are going to be seeing that Lucio Kiriko mirror from both sides, as Denji on the hazard now. So I think obviously if you are Boa, you just need to make sure that this hazard can't really set up here. Like, it doesn't really matter if you can kill the hazard or not, but you just like need to make sure that Denji can't get like easy slashes up onto your team like that, because it just does so much damage to everyone on Boa. As yeah, like Boa again just looking a little bit weaker in terms of the health pools right now, but Xlera taking a ton of pressure right now. Gonna have to play a little bit safer. You don't want to get sniped out by Andrew, who's now on this Freya. But Oomfie University just doing a pretty good job of keeping this cart rolling for now. The Boa not really making a big attempt to contest it, as Biscuit falling incredibly low, but so is Denji. Denji is also falling incredibly low, and Andrew gonna be able to get the first pick up, and Obanda falling so incredibly low on the point will be taken down by Hunter Tane, as well as Andrew hitting and making sure to hitting the bolts onto the Freya. And if you can get this third final blow here, that can, you can basically get your ultimate, but not gonna be able to get that. But you know what, sitting comfortably at 70% on the on that ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, I was honestly thinking this hazard wall might be able to like disrupt this Winston a little bit more, try to make it a little bit more difficult and like getting out of healing range, but it looks like they've been working pretty well to like try to get around it. And
yeah, Seeker already has the sound barrier. That's such a fast sound barrier being built, and Tenji just gonna get burned off the back of that Kitsune rush. Maybe Oomfie University not quite ready to, maybe not expecting all that damage to be put into the hazard now. That's just going to be cleanup here for the side of Boa. 2 minutes now off the timing for Oomfie University, but they do have, I guess, the Kitsune rush advantage compared to Boa going into this next fight.
Yeah, I mean, this whole like Ana ban definitely shakes up a lot of things in my head. Like with Hunter Tane being in playing this Winston comp, I do think that like even with the Ana ban, I do think that like their Winston comp is still going to be really strong, and I still think the Boa's dive still works so well. And
yeah, but Andrew just taking down 3 before Oomfie University can even push in, but they're still going to be opting to commit that Kitsune rush though. Bullet shot going to be committed though by Andrew, and Ronan going to fall off the back of that. Oomfie University though fighting on this point, looking to find anything there with the Kitsune rush, but nothing will be found there, as it's going to be Denji left to his own devices. Will fall, and unfortunately Oomfie University popping an ultimate and not getting any value out of it.
Yeah, I mean, with already a minute left on the clock, it's looking really, really down for Oomfie University. They have to make something happen. I mean, they have 4 ults coming up here. I think that, I mean, so does Boa, but I think but a big picture on the Biscuit, and the ults is going to come out.
Yeah, actually, it's a lot of members of Boa, but the sound barrier coming from Setsuna to take down Brave was I'm pretty sure that could have been an Ajax. They're onto the Lucio, and now Setsuna just slashing away at Denji, but it's a little bit hard to kill a hazard while he has the
Primal Rage.
Hunter Tane popping the Primal Rage here. Hunter Tane believes that this would have won. Denji walling himself off, I'm pretty sure, from his own team. I'm not really sure if that was the correct play to be doing there, as Obama falling so incredibly low, and Biscuit gonna be cleaning up the rest of Oomfie University. Now there's only 20 seconds left, and I think if you're Oomfie University, you have to back up here, especially with Biscuit getting another crazy headshot there onto Obama.
Being down Obama, especially with these last 15 seconds left, is something you do not want to see right now. It's looking really dire. I mean, Ronan has his overclock. You have to make some sort of magic happen here with that. This is going to have this rush, and the Ender's going to have his ult as well. I mean, being down Obama is going to be really tough for this.
Yeah, and Brig gonna be the first one to fall there, so no Lucio on this side of Oomfie University, and Hunter Tane gonna be able to take down Ronan as well with the help of that Kitsune rush, and Andrew just free to do whatever he wants on this Freya, just cleaning up everyone else on Oomfie University, and they're gonna get full held on Route 66.
Full held on Route 66. Match points for Boa. They just need to push it to the checkpoint, basically, and it's looking so good there for Boa. I mean, I feel like Boa, they're basically playing almost all of their comfort picks that they want to play. Like Andrew's on Freya, Sasuna's on Genji, Hunter Tane's on like Winston, Seeker's on Lucio, and Biscuit's on Kiri. Like I feel like these are the heroes that they want to play, and they just play these comps so well. And Oomfie University, I mean, they try to play this hazard here, but it looked like it was just not really enough for it. And I think that a lot of these like staggering picks, especially in that final fight, they were unable to get the picks that they needed, especially on the Hunter Tane with that Primal Rage, finding Denji, and Biscuit also finding some nice picks there onto Abamna. Really just like stalled out that fight so much.
It looks like they will be probably, I'm assuming maybe with this kind of comp, they might be doing a spawn hold.
Spawn hold, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Obama going onto the Baptiste right now, actually. Yeah, we're going to be seeing Obama on that Baptiste, so looks like Oomfie University really want to just make sure that Boa doesn't have a big time bank here, even if Boa can eventually break through the spawn hold. They just want to get rid of as much time as humanly possible here, so... Honestly, though, if I am Oomfie University, I think you really just need to watch out for, I think the biggest thing you have to watch out for if you are running this sort of super brawly comp is you need to make sure that like you can't just get overwhelmed by the insane cleave of like a Winston or like the dash from Setsuna with like a Katsune Rush or like a Blade 2, because I feel like if Oomfie University play a little bit too stacked there, it can be pretty disastrous for for this sort of super like stack comp that they're trying to be going for here. And yeah, now will be attack side for Boa as Andrew looking for a kill, but not going to find too much as Oomfie University. Yeah, they're doing exactly what they want to do here. They just want to sort of play around this objective here.
On the piggy.
Yeah, anything big. Yeah, and Hunter's on the Roadhog.
Yeah, they just want to sit here and just kill this time as much as they can. They want to get as many fights in as they can, obviously, because they got full health, but like, even the more fights they have, the more time they're going to be draining. And this is exactly what they want to see. 100 things going to be swapping off the Roadhog pretty quickly, unfortunately, but...
yeah, no picking. Wait, Obama going to get caught out, maybe.
He does not even care about that tank. He's just going to ram the backline.
He's going to die. Yeah, and Bree also going to fall immediately after that, so...
Boa is able to...
Yeah, just straight up disrespecting this. I guess they're sort of disrespecting this Reaper and Ramatra stronghold that Oomfie University were trying to go for, and that still is okay. To the credit of Oomfie University, that still is a minute off the time bank though. And honestly, like if you only push to 77 meters, you need to have as little. You want to like make sure you take off as much time as possible for a big ultimate fight, because that's really like really going to be like your biggest win conditions here. But now, unfortunately, the Oomfie University not really in like the super spawn holdy positions now. So now Andrew has a lot of angles to get a lot of value, but Hunter Tane, yeah, playing a little bit too aggro, and
but
the pause will be called.
Oh, great. A pause after Hunter Tane's death, and it looks like Boa probably is gonna need a backup here. And, it's not looking too great for them right now, but
true.
Yeah, I mean, we got full held on Route 66. Boa is pushing, and I think that they have some ults building up slowly, I will say. So we'll see if this like stall comm that they have will work out. I think it can definitely kill a lot of time on the clock. But the problem is they can stall all the time they want on the clock, but they still need to be able to win that final fight to actually win the map.
Yeah, and also I also think I think the biggest win condition for Oomfie University, I think is exactly what we saw there, right? When they were able to hit the vortex onto Hunter Tane to basically keep the basically make sure that the Winston can't go anywhere, so then the Reaper can really get as much value as possible as obviously I think if a Winston obviously just gets burned by a Reaper if you're not very careful. So I think Hunter Tane really has to be cautious of the Ramatra slow, because I think the Ramatra slow and just the Reaper walking in, I feel like
a lot of burst damage for that Winston if he makes any sort of mistake. Kind of pretty easily punishable with those two heroes.
Oh yeah, definitely. But before the pause did happen though, I did see that Biscuit actually was, I'm pretty sure, 94% to the Katsune Rush. Yeah, as we are. Oh yeah, we are looking at Biscuit 94. Oh,
Setsuna. It's gonna run!
Okay. Run, Setsuna, run! Okay, Setsuna.
Looks like Andrew will be going off the map.
Andrew. Goodbye, Andrew.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
You know what? They don't get any ultimate charge. I guess so, but okay. Oomfie University though, they have 4 ultimates coming up here.
You do have a lot of ults coming up here, so I think that Oomfie University, they definitely can. I can honestly see them really stalling this time bank and honestly winning a fight, especially with these random picks they can get. They have Xlara off of the Genji. It really wasn't working something like that, but
the bullet shot from Andrew though, trying to take down Roman, but Xlara able to line up the shot to take down the Frey. A good headshot, Xlara taking down another getting massive value here on the Sojourn, but will eventually be overwhelmed by Setsuna and Hunter Tan respectively. Seaker popping the sound barrier to keep up Setsuna, but I'm not really sure if that's... If I'm Boa, I'm a little bit disappointed by that. Gonna be able to get the kill onto Bree, but still.
Yeah, there is 1 minute left onto this time bank. I feel like you wanted to save that beat for this final fight here. I mean, you use this, you don't have any support else coming into this. You use your rush, you use your beat. You're gonna have this blade in primal, but I mean, I'm not sure. You might need
the Widow coming through from Abomna, but Abomna gonna die though. That's so little healing left for Oomfie University, but Denji gonna be able to take down Biscuit. But Xlera is gonna get overwhelmed by 3 members of Boa going in for that dive though.
Death Blossom.
That is true. This Death Blossom has to be absolutely massive, and Ronan gonna be taking down 2 with that Death Blossom and the sound barrier as well from Bree to make sure that Oomfie University can get that secured by Ronan, taking down 3, the hero of Oomfie University. But now Oomfie University have no ultimates going into this final fight. So now this is gonna be... Oh wait, some swaps? How'd you take on the Junker Queen? Okay.
I mean, for this final fight right here, I mean, they didn't really have any ults to use, I guess. I mean, they're looking for something different here. Oomfie University, looks like this is going to be a pretty dry fight here. I mean, they really want to watch out for Denji here. 60% of his ults, like Denji's ult could be the deciding factor for Oomfie University.
Yeah, and Setsuna just playing up so aggro here. He could get picked off early, though. Able to pop the deep like just in time, though, and the Suzu also committed to make sure that Genji stays alive. Now, this is overtime territory now, so Oomfie University really has to make sure that they can clear this fight to bring it to another map here. But the DPS from Oomfie University saw him falling so incredibly low here. Setsuna almost going to be able to get the kill, but who can touch the point for Oomfie University? It looks like somebody on Oomfie University is touching the point here, but there's a Sojourn duel on the high ground. Andrew might be able to get the best of Xlera, and will be able to. No Xlera means no Sojourn on the side of Oomfie University, so a big advantage here for the side of Boa.
Is 90%
window available though. Yeah, but the considerate coming out here from Biscuit, and Setsuna able to take down Obanda as well. And Biscuit gonna be able to get the kill onto Ronan as well. See, last ditch effort Ramatra coming out here from Denji, but I don't know if it's gonna be enough here. C Carrot popping that sound barrier. Denji gonna fall, and that's gonna be Boa being the C League champions, winning the series 4-1 over Oomfie University.
Wow. What an absolute crazy final fight. So many ults there were just being used back and forth. We saw like the sound barrier being used. We saw the rushes being used. There was a window built. There was the Ramatra ult. There was the blades. I mean, there was so much that final fight, but like Boa, you know, they deserve this grand final win. They looked so dominant throughout the majority of this entire series and maybe even this entire season as well. But unfortunately for Oomfie University, their season will be ending a little bit just short of what they have absolutely wanted. But I wouldn't really knock them out too much for that. They still had a fantastic season, and I think second place is still pretty worth.
Yeah, I mean, second place, that is still a very respectable finish. You know, you made it all the way to the grand finals, and I think, you know, like, I mean, like, you still played your heart out, and you know, you still did take a map as well. So, I mean, like honestly, I still do think that was a very good series from both sides. But Boa just looking so much more in control of a lot of these maps here. So they will be the C League champions for season 7 of BPL. And yeah, honestly, I think as well, that was also such a close map, as it looks like Oomfie University almost had that fuller hold on lock, but then it looked like in the final moments there, maybe Boa's ultimate bank really coming in clutch for them, as it sort of looks like Boa had the ultimates at the perfect opportunities. Like when Denji popped their module on point,
it was actually crazy. That final point,
that's exactly when C Carrot. Yeah, that's like exactly when C Carrot gets the sound barrier up to keep the team alive there. As we did see, we did see maybe a couple of misplays there from Boa, but you know, at the end of the day, Boa will be able to take Route 66, and yeah, with that, they will be the C League champions.
Yep, and
I'm pretty sure that's a 2-timer for Andrew now, actually, because Andrew did win all the way back in BPL season 4.
Here's the bracket right here. I mean, great win there from Boa, and I think we will be having an interview with a lot of people, I think.
Oh yeah, I see a lot of people in a waiting room.
And I think we also are going to be having an MVP our grand finals MVP, but it looks like we're having an interview right now.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Well.
Hello, Boa and Tanic B.
Oh, oh no.
Coach Tanic B. It's Coach Tanic B, dude.
Hello,
Coach,
Boa
Coach.
and Tanic B. Hello, okay, hello, Boa and Coach Tanic B. Congrats on your victory. I mean, to be honest, just based off of what I saw, it kind of looked like you guys were very much in control of, or like it looks like you guys sort of had like the upper hand on just what to do in a lot of these fights. Like, did you like, you know, sort of come up with? Did you have like any specific plans against Oomfie University, or was it more just like we know what we're good at and we're just gonna like sort of, and we're just like, you know, I guess we're just gonna see what they do, but like we're still gonna win anyway.
Well, going into it, we knew they play like the same comps as us a lot of the times, so we knew like it'd be a lot of mirroring or at least similar comps. But in the first series when we played against them, we kind of like figured them out a bit, because like that series was a lot closer. So like this time around, we just like adapted a little bit and then was able to. I mean, we were very close to trolling them, I will say, but you know.
Yeah. I think we had the idea. I think our macro. We just had to beat him at the macro, and sometimes we beat him at the macro, and sometimes we're like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, hero plays can't save us every map.
Yeah.
Yeah, fortunately,
I had a few questionable things going on. Duels were fun though. I saw a lot of character-on-character duels this game. I know that Lucio duel. Lucio duel. I don't know. I enjoyed my Tracer ones. I enjoyed Genji one. I really enjoyed the whole game. This is a great game, a great league, especially for my first like BPL type of thing ever. Winning my first one is like an incredibly lucky thing to have. But I couldn't have done it without my team. These guys are all crazy.
And going
It's only down from here.
I think since there were like the top 3 teams that were like beating each other in like a circle, right? So we kind of had each other figured out to an amount, right? I think the only specific Oomfie thing was like, hey, they're gonna play Hazard on dive, and that's it. That's all we knew.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, you guys look so strong on a lot of those maps, especially the dive maps, I would say. Their dive was like actually like really good, so. But I do have a question for Tanic B. Did you actually do anything?
Yeah, I did. I did say stuff. I did say stuff. I gave some ban ideas. I gave coaching. I yelled at them every time they played the Orisa comp wrong. And
Tanic B called us bums in the middle of the map.
Yeah, I know. I hated the other team a lot.
We put the map really good, and then he's like, "Nah, you guys fucking sucked that one," you know.
Viking World. That was terrible. Don't want to watch that Icon World ever again. IMO.
The Icon World did look pretty scary for you guys, but then you guys did a great job on third point.
Yeah, that was really good hold on third point there. As, I mean, yeah, that was great. Besides from Tanic B, that was awesome from everyone else. Wow, look, if you look at the stream, look, that's your team. 2 wrecking balls.
Yay!
Wow. Yay!
So great.
That's so awesome. So oh yeah, and then I'm not so sure. I'm like unsure if there is like a finals MVP for this game or if we are awarding one. But okay, it looks like we are already. It looks like from what the observers have pointed out, they think that Andrew should be the finals MVP. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
Sojourn becomes good. Look what happens.
Sojourn, they didn't even change her yet. What do you mean?
Ew.
She's about to be even better.
The Andrew Reaper for one fight, that was pretty demonic.
It was Reaper Friday for one fight, and then I was just
and then you remember the date. You were like, oh wait, it's Sunday.
Sunday.
Can't be playing.
Yeah, I had to check my time, check the clock. But
the clock for the day. You check the calendar.
I mean the clock on my computer. You know, it's got the thing
exactly.
right
I guess.
But and shout out my team though. I got the finals MVP award, but like literally could not do that without any single player on this team. Like everyone carries their weight, and the only reason I'm able to do things is because they're doing their jobs correctly and arguably better than me most of the time. Like I don't know, man. They're just all goats in each individual role. Like you look at the tier lists this season, we topped every single thing. Like everyone's just, they're so good. I'm so happy with this team I drafted. Also super chill, you know, no toxicity, no beefs. Where the people stand. You know, I'm not gonna name names or anything, but there's definitely some teams who may have voted, or maybe they were flaming people. But I don't know why flame when you're down. I don't really get that, but you know, I'm not calling out anyone. I'm not calling out anyone.
I'm calling them.
Thank you for the nomination.
Love wins.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm reading chat. What the hell is the sea carrot special?
Maybe you're Ajax.
Bro!
I got it.
I'm proud
The Ajax was very unfortunate.
Oh, dude!
I'm proud to
at the railgun.
Yeah, I'm proud to announce an Ajax wants the season. I had Ajax once. Woo!
Oh yeah,
bro.
We did it. We did it, guys.
Just after like what Andrew's saying, I really think this team was really fun to be in. You know, I mean, it was everyone was giving them their all. You know, 0 warm-ups ever, by the way.
Which is true. We had today. Quickly warm up last week.
We're all, it was a very, very fun team. My supports, my DPS, my tanks, they were all very, very happy to play the game. And you know, in BPL, sometimes shit gets serious. You know, playing with your life on the line type shit. But this game was very, very fun. So thanks to my team, bro. Very fun.
Awesome. Well, I mean, do you guys have anything else you want to say? I'm assuming there's a lot that needs to be said, but yeah.
Love wins. God bless the team.
God bless love wins.
Good will always triumph over evil, bro. That's all I gotta say.
That's true.
I will throw out really quick just from one caster to another, because no beef here whatsoever. Denji, you played your fucking heart out. Those maps you were in, like, legit.
Denji was definitely, if there was a MVP for their team, I'd definitely say it was Denji. He was doing so well.
Ronan also stepped up like those last 2 maps.
Yeah.
That Sojam Surabasa was really good.
That was hurting us bad.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for the interview, and congratulations on your win.
Yeah, don't give Tanipy the championship role though. We can't have that.
I don't think he'll get it.
I think I'm getting it anyway. So you're lucky.
Good. You know what?
I
Yeah,
want to say
congratulations,
before-
Noah. Congrats, Andrew, on being a 2-time champion.
Thank you. First ever captain season in BPL this season.
Yay.
This is my first time. So it'd be awesome to get a win.
Alrighty, well, GG's Boa.
Jeez.
Thank you for casting and
Hold on, I need
prodding
to flame
and everything.
Ninja, I have a
Solomon's
lot
getting
of
us
words
out
to
of
say
here.
to you. I hate you.
Damn, that's
I hate you, bro.
Alright.
Happy 5 years.
Bye.
Bye. See y'all.
Taniki, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Taniki,
Alright.
get out of here.
Why are you still here?
Taniki, get out of
We're
here.
not playing Rocketopia with you, Danik B.
Taniki, all the
I
bone
think
numbers are gone.
Well, it
Okay,
looks
there
like
we
we
go.
will be having a exit interview for Oomfie.
Yeah. Looks like we do have Claybird, we have Denji, and we have Obama from Oomfie University here.
Hey, man.
And
Hello.
Hello. Well, I just want to say, how did you feel like throughout this entire season?
It kind of felt like we had the gauntlet, and for like the first 4 games were literally Terrapin, Boa, Goatman, and Log Races. Like kind of just felt like we had the first gauntlet of matches in the back half of the stage. Like no offense to the Bear, Serenunos was kind of easy cruising. But I think we just got too comfortable with winning, and then our first match against Boa Winners Finals, we were in the hot seat, and we, to put it lightly, all played like crap. And I didn't have my didn't have Claybury with me either, so.
Yeah. But
I mean, I think it still was a very good attempt though. Like I think a lot of the maps were still like very well. All the maps were like super duper close still. So I mean, I feel like it's not like oh man, like we just looked awful. Like I still think you guys played really good.
I felt like we should have had Iconwell. That just like we just slipped through our fingers on our attack.
They exposed a lot of our weaknesses. They took us to maps that we weren't comfortable on at all.
Yeah,
it was a good map. They played it smart.
Yeah, them taking us to route was like they knew that we probably weren't really comfortable on that map. The spawn hold was actually like my call, and everybody was like against it. And then they're like, okay, because I literally told them the point that was literally just to bleed time of the clock, and they're like, why? And in the back of my head, I was like, I've seen high level players do this in A League, so maybe it'll work down here.
I mean, I will say though, like as a I do enjoy playing. I do like the Ramatra strat on route because it is pretty funny because you just sort of sit on point and then you just gotta sit around.
I kind of just watched like, you do it all season, so
yeah, and then like I don't know. I mean, I remember I did do that in the last game that I played, and we did take off like 2 minutes, and like even though we held them on third point, even though like we had like. I'm pretty sure like 10 less eliminations than everyone else on Primal Pineapples. It was like I was like, wow, I can't believe this is like a real strategy that people actually do. Like this shouldn't be working. They need to get rid of that. They need to get rid of that block ASAP.
No, they almost. I will get to Boa. They almost did cuck us on Sarvasa because our strat is Queen Reaper on that map, and they knew it because they had scrimmed against us on that, and we beat them like I think all 3 times we played it against them in scrim. So they just didn't want to deal with it, and they ended up just forcing us onto ROM, but that kind of backfired against them.
Yeah, I was really confused about that Queen ban. I was like, I don't get it, but now it doesn't.
They knew what I like to. They knew what I wanted to play there, so it was a target ban on me.
I mean, it didn't really matter. You still won that map dominantly. I mean, you looked. Yeah, you guys looked crazy on that map right there.
Yeah, we were really familiar with that team, and it was an advantage and a disadvantage at the same time.
Yeah, we both knew each other like ins and outs. We knew basically when we went into the series, basically we saw what the map order was, and we knew like going in that they're gonna try to abuse the fact that Andrew can just play Freya and Sojourn and lobby admin, and that just opens up Setsuna just to do whatever the heck he wants. Like as soon as we saw the map order, we were like, they're just trying to play long range.
Yeah,
like, that's what it felt like on. That's what it felt like when we saw like that they just only did one control, and then the rest were like long range maps like, outside of like maybe Flashpoint.
Well, so you guys did play really well in that final game. A lot of the maps were really close. I feel like you guys had a lot of really nice plays. I did really enjoy casting you guys for the last 2 games. It was really fun. I hope you guys continue to play Overwatch or like leagues or like these tournaments and stuff like that, because it was really enjoyable to see you guys play.
Yeah,
sure, thank you.
This is my first time ever. Like I play collegiate, but I mean, I had never heard of anything like BPL or SPCS. Like the first time ever hearing those acronyms was this summer, and like just getting randomly drafted to a team for like a decent amount of money. So I was still surprised about that. I was like, I'm ready to go for like 1 or 2K just because I'm a nobody. But then I actually went for a decent amount. I'm like, wait, I might actually do something. And then me and Denji, we just kind of complimented each other. I really like playing Brawl. He likes playing Poke, and then we kind of both kind of mid at dive. But anytime one of us got banned out, the other person went in.
We compliment each other well, and you got drafted like for a shit ton, and I got drafted for 1K. Yeah, a 1K tank player made the grand finals.
Awesome. Well, do you guys have like any final words, any special shout outs before we wrap it up?
Shout out Boop, give that guy MVP. Shout out Lucky.
Shout out
Amigo.
Shout out the whole entire like Paras org. It's like of course you're on our sister team, Toast. So like the whole entire org has been really nice. It's really been really nice to be in a Par org with how many resources he has available to all players. to improve.
It was definitely a welcoming and like comfortable community to hang out with. Like we kind of all got together pretty well. Like we were scrimming all the time. We literally scrimmed day one. I was just like, oh my goodness,
we like Par literally had a scrim like I think an hour after the draft.
Yeah, it's definitely something Pyro though.
Yeah. But yeah, shout out that whole team. Also, like Obama's friend circle, Requiem, who I think were like our only supporters going into that match outside like the org itself, because for some reason people just didn't like us, and I still don't understand why. But I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, shout out Requiem. Give them all a roll star. Best players in B League.
I'm just saying, if Requiem wins Grands in B League, then Obama technically gets the ring because he's staff there.
You mean win, bro. You mean win. Not if. Come on now.
Yeah,
I was like to put if in front because every time I said they're going to win, whoever I said I think is going to win, it loses. I think I just curse them. That's why.
Maybe. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here for this exit interview. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
All right, thank you.
Thank you
guys.
See ya.
GG's. Goodbye.
GG's.
Alrighty, well, and yeah, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be a wrap on C League with BOA being your C League champions. Did not drop a single game in the playoffs to go all the way to be first place here. Andrew, a two-time champion, so big ups for a couple members of BOA, obviously. So very exciting season, very exciting games, and now we can look at the schedule for B League and A League, because we still got those games going on. We have School of Rush versus Blind Music Society. That will be tomorrow at 9 p.m. and then we have our A League upper finals of Smoke Wolves versus Corrupted Guys. That will be Tuesday at 8 p.m. So definitely be on the lookout for those. The School of Rush Blind Music Society game, I'm pretty sure that is the loser semifinal, so whoever wins that game will play Birdwatch in the lower finals to determine who will play Requiem in the grand finals. And then obviously Smoke Wolves versus Corrupted Guys, that is the upper finals for A League, so whoever wins that game will be going to the grand finals of A League. So definitely a couple more very important games on the horizon for B and A League. But I guess for today, though, that will be all. It was just this MVP. It was just this grand finals game.
Yeah, that's all we got for today. We got less and less games every single week. It's slowly going to
so
end.
Sad. Yeah. But I mean, if you don't have anything else to say, I mean,
I got nothing else.
Alrighty, well. In that case, thank you everyone for watching the C League Grand Finals between BOA and Oomfie University. Still a couple more BPL games later this week, so make sure you are on the lookout for those. But I guess we will see you then, because we are done for today. Goodbye, everyone. Have an awesome night.
We got nowhere to be. Just a slow dance with the summer heat. World outside can't wait to see. 'Cause right now we got nothing else to do. The sun is peeking through the coffin white light. Your hands to tangle up with mine. Feet on the wall, your hand floating easy. We got nowhere to be. Got nowhere to be. Your hair's a mess, but you don't mind. You just let it fall. It's fine. summer sun on quiet tracks. Oh, it feels like that, like the summer rain that falls so slowly on the naked skin upon your back. Oh, it feels like that, like a love song on a worn out track. Yeah, it feels like that. Feels like